when the world's too dark of a place to be, and you need an escape from reality. Open up those pages, it's sci-fi or fantasy, whatever genre you please. And join a book club, 'cause you won't read it on your own. Join a book club, so you'll be held accountable. It's just a means to an end, but you're doing it with your friends, so join the book club by DLC.
Hello there, book clubbers! Happy 2026! It's our first episode of this new year. I hope the new year has greeted you kindly and with compassion. I'm Jeff Kanata. I'm here with Lana Bachynski. Hi, Lana.
Hello. Oh my goodness. That opening song has not felt more resonant than today. Means to an end. Doing it with my friends. Woo, baby. Long hiatus, but I am so excited to be here today.
Yes, unfortunate that we had to have this big long hiatus with all the, end of year things happening. We were right at the finish line, and here it is. We're finally arrived. The final chapter of the final Malazan Book of the Fallen. The 10 novels we set out. Our first episode was published April 7th, 2023.
Wow.
Here we are recording on January 8th. Yes.
Yeah.
2026.
Woo.
I remember when we first started, I think we had a conversation, you and I offline, saying, I think it's going to take like 2 years to get through these at this rate. And it took a little longer than that. But we're finally here. This is it. The last chapter of The Crippled God. Now, I want to tell you right away, this is not our final episode talking about the Malazan Book of the Fallen. We're planning to do some fun extra stuff. And there is so much to get to in this chapter that we're really just kind of get through all of it logistically, sort of mechanically, talking about scene by scene as we often do. And then I think we're going to save sort of bigger thoughts, series thoughts, your thoughts. A number of you have written wonderful emails to us. We're not going to try to cram that all in here because I suspect this episode is going to be real long as it is. We're going to do that in a separate episode, probably next week. So if you have any other things you'd like to email us, dlcfeedback@gmail.com. So I'd love that to be a celebration of this journey. It is not the end of our show. We're still going to do more books, but I think this big first project of getting through the 10 Malazan Books of the Fallen is, I think a celebration is in order that we did this and here we are, and it's been this fun journey with all of you. So that will be next week. So this episode, we're just going to crank through chapter 24 in its magnificent long glory. And talk about scene by scene as we do. Lana, your thoughts?
My thoughts are that I am pumped and ready. And,
Let's do it.
Hearing the whole series being like, the last chapter of the Crippled God is such a big chapter. And getting there and being like, it's pretty long. And then reading through and being like, there's other ways in which a chapter just feels so big. So buckle up, baby.
Yes.
I'm ready. I'm coffeeed up. We're locked in and good to
go. Lana pushed work back. We're focused. We're here. It's 2026.
Woo!
All right. Here we go. Spoilers starting now for chapter 24 and the epilogues. We'll do the epilogues as well. We start with, we're preparing for this battle. Banishar is remembering a scene in Tavor's tent. This discussion between Tavor and Lestara Yil, talking about sacrifice, which, alongside compassion, empathy, I think sacrifice really comes into focus here in this final novel as a major theme of the series. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk a lot about sacrifice in this episode, in this chapter, but I think this sets the table and in such a beautiful, beautiful way, talking about leaving a better world for your children. This thing of our job is to not think of ourselves. Our job is to think of the next generation. Mm-hmm. And even Tavor, Banishar remembering Tavor saying to Lestara, I am no mother, but I need only look at Havanat to find the strength I need.
Yeah. One of the things I like that I pulled a quote from this particular section, like immediately, I'm like, all right, there's a beautiful language abound in this chapter, I am sure. And it was specifically like, we have to make sacrifices now so that our children don't bear pain of things that they didn't know and won't understand.
Yeah.
It's just pain that they'll be experiencing and have no comprehension of the context of how it got there. And it's really not their burden to bear. And I just thought that was really well said.
Yeah. It's beautiful and so powerful and resonant in so many aspects of what is happening to our world, to this country in particular, to, so much. To think not of ourselves, but of what we leave after. Yeah, I think all of us could learn that lesson a lot better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Banishar, kind of confronts Tavor and says, you gotta stop running. She says, what does Drek want? You are the priest of Drek. Tell me why she is so determined to be here. Is she going to stop us? Is she going to be a problem? Do I have to worry about Drek now too? And he says, no, Drek will protect it. He says the god thinks that they're going to succeed. She says they won't fail. And this sort of this lesson in faith that Tavor and Banishar are sort of teaching everyone.
Mm-hmm. The concept of they won't fail still at this point being like, well, what's the definition of failure here?
Agreed. Yes.
Do we really know what that looks like?
Yeah.
It could be like a goal is accomplished, everybody gone. Yeah. I don't know. They might not fail, but what does that really entail here?
Yeah. So then Banishar leaves, and on his way out, he has this, I thought, very beautiful recollection or reflection on, the cyclical nature of everything. And he says, we think it's all some kind of forward momentum, endlessly leaving behind and reaching towards. But the truth is, we do little more than walk in circles. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Our worlds are so small, they only feel endless because our minds can gather thousands of them all at once.
Yes.
Beautiful. I mean, speaking to readers who seek out these novels because they encompass worlds, speaking as an author through his characters, as someone who has invented, thousands of characters in this world, every nook and cranny of this world, thousands of years of history of this world. And yet they only feel endless because our minds can gather thousands of them at once. That's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It is. And I feel like, for me, it was also speaking. I was doing my regular walk and read at the gym and thinking about that and being like, yeah, my world that is actually my world is so small. Like I'm going to basically everything within 10 minutes of my house is my most regular world. And even like, I go around Seattle and do things. Like the whole world itself can feel, my world and what impact I have can feel so much larger because I can connect with people on the internet. Like what we're doing here makes it feel like my world is larger than it really is. And I don't know. There's so much. It was hard not to like every second page have some little poignant takeaway that was building up through the end of this book. I really had to be judicious with my pull quotes.
Oh my gosh. I know. I had so many. And we'll be doing a number of them. We'll see how time allows, but oh my goodness. So many, obviously very deep and ponderous reflections coming to the end of this novel and series. Mm-hmm. Banishar and Fiddler arrive at this little mound. They find a ring of boulders and then thousands of these spear points that seem to have been abandoned. And they theorize that whatever ancient peoples were here just kind of came to a better way of killing stuff. And so threw away their old weapons. Like found the next step in the techno tree, and
but even how they got here, they were having this moment in the tent, and then Tavor is like, Banishar, you and Fiddler, we got something to do, and she kind of pulls them away from the rest of the army, and Tavor consistently down to the last moment. It's like, well, why? What are you doing? What are you thinking? What's going on? And coming to this place that is this, she's looking at Banishar being like, we're getting vibes. We're getting Drek vibes. We're getting somebody's guiding us. We are letting our faith say that, yeah, we've been walking through this desert for a time. And now this feels semi-arbitrarily where we're making this last stand because we can. And they've selected this spot. And this is where Tavor comes to the center of the circle. I just love that she's like, I guess it's this kind of burrow, this hillside spot that seems like a defensible thing, and they find the spears because she steps and almost slips in them, which in itself felt like a little bit of a Saw moment. Like, oh, jump in the spear pile.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and they're saying that the technology that they discovered was too successful, which like literally led to their own extinction because they killed all the wildlife and the food supply. And so they brought about their own extinction. And this reflection that they blamed the tools. They didn't look at themselves and go, hey, maybe we should stop our murderous intent, stop the rampant use of the tools. No. It's the tools themselves that are the problem. And
it's crazy that they made AI in this book too.
I know, right? Oh God. Is it not? Yeah, this book was written well before we had to worry about it. And here we are, like it's so prescient. And this line in particular, even to this day, we think efficiency is a good thing. Even to this day, we think efficiency is a good thing. Now if that doesn't speak to AI and so many of the other.
And he cut corner to get ahead. Yeah.
And Fiddler says, hey, maybe humans invented war with each other after they had no more animals to kill.
Sad.
You need to kill something.
Sad.
Yeah. So Tavor draws out the Atotral sword, sticks it into the ground, and Banishar says, it shall summon. The process of doing that is so impactful that Tavor faints. And so Fiddler and Banishar immediately start helping her. Fiddler, in this moment that like really affected me as a reader, starts breaking up the deck of dragons and using them as kindling to start a fire for her.
Oh my gosh. Especially knowing what's coming is like, don't you need those, man?
Bro.
Aren't those like magical, important things you can maybe use for stuff? And him, them going into like dad's mode and, Tavor waking up and even them like holding her through her armor. She has this striking, imposing figure, the intensity of her stare, the intensity of just like her vibe being like, ooh, the boss, and we're following her until we die, period. We've all signed on to that. Catching her and then being like, oh, this is like catching a skeleton. There's just like bones in here. And being like, we're not going anywhere until you're having a bite of food. And we're sacrificing. We're sacrificing. Most of the deck have that one house that matters still in the pocket, but we're sacrificing this deck. Because if you sacrifice so much of yourself that you cannot continue into this final battle, we're all lost.
Yes. I do like the little tidbit, too, where Banishar is like, hey, Fiddler, you're burning all your precious stuff. It seems like you don't think you're going to survive. And he's like, well, even if I do survive, I'm done soldiering. I'm going to retire and go take up pier fishing.
Love it.
Foreshadowing.
I pulled a little quote from here too. Maybe some of my quotes I should just because you
just pepper it in.
You should pepper it in. This one I really loved because they were talking about Fiddler's like, oh, I'll take up fishing, and Banishar's like, oh, I didn't picture you being a man of the seas, and Fiddler's like, no, just like on the pier. I was not a business fisher. I just want to do stuff. And Banishar says, we should all live a life of hobbies, doing only what gives us pleasure, only what rewards us in secret, private ways. And
I also pulled that. It's such a beautiful quote. Oh my goodness. It's
such a beautiful quote. And it like looping in through the book of Tavor and them being like unwitnessed. But this idea of doing things not to be seen, again, like so much of what feels like human existence is to be seen. To some extent, it's like, well, what are we doing right now? We're talking about this book to put it on the internet to be seen, and that's not our motivation. Our motivation is reading, and this just happens to plug into our lives where we do that otherwise. But that idea of living a life of hobbies and giving ourselves secret, private enjoyment for life.
Yeah.
What?
It's not hustle culture. It's not monetize your hobbies.
It's my 2026 New Year's resolution, maybe.
Secret, private, a life of secret. I mean, that's just, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Tavor wakes up and she's like, "What? Do you even know who's summoned by that sword?" And he's like, "Yeah. I just burned that card." And she's like, "What? Oh no, bad idea." I love that too.
Could have used that one.
He says, "Don't worry, I still have the House of Chains, and the King in Chains is too busy undermining the throne he happens to be sitting on. But the knight is with them." Is that Tehol?
No.
I don't know who the King in Chains is, but
I assumed that was. Wait, say what? Read the line again.
He's too busy undermining the throne he happens to be sitting on.
Yeah, I assumed that was Shadow Throne and Cotillion.
Okay. Yeah, perhaps. So he also says, he also pulls out the Reaver, the Fool, the Seven, the Leper, and the Cripple. And he looks at Banishar, who evidently is the Cripple in this context. And then this beautiful moment where Tavor asks Banishar if he's the one that took off her helmet and like combed her hair a little bit. And he says, "Yeah, that was me." And she says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I look such a mess." Mm. Just these like little cracks in the cold iron of Tavor, showing a little bit of her humanity. We'll see that later at the end as well. But my goodness, beautiful. I thought that was such a beautiful little touch of, "Oh, I'm sorry, I look a mess." Like, girl, you know where we are right now?
To me, I took it as partially her. I mean, she wouldn't have said it if she didn't genuinely think it, but also even like a slight joke. I don't think we've seen Tavor hit a lot of jokes. And so I felt like she didn't quite have so much insecurity that she would actually be like, "Oh gosh, I'm so sorry." I think it's more like, "Oh man, I must have looked terrible. I must have looked
interesting.
terrible."
I didn't take it as, I mean, it's ironic, obviously, to the reader, but I didn't take it as insecurity either. More of like
just another thing she's trying to. Yeah,
she's a perfectionist. She does not allow herself even the slightest flaw. She cannot concede even she takes her responsibilities so seriously that she can't look weak, or weak is the wrong word, but
out of place, out of sorts.
Yes. She can't look, she can't let everybody else down by allowing her appearance to even be disheveled, I thought that's kind of how I took it.
I took it as that, but like not presented with full authenticity of like a full-throated apology. It's just like, well, sorry for that too, I guess.
Then we get Hedge distributing the munitions, getting his group of dudes ready for or not dudes, but people, ready for the upcoming battle. And he tells Fiddler that the bridge burners are going with them. And Fiddler's like, "No, come on, man." He's like, "I already talked to Tavor." And Hedge is like, "Well, guess what, Fiddler? I'm going. And if you don't let me go, you're going to regret it." And Fiddler says, "Your group are not bridge burners." He says, "It's not just a fucking name. You can't just pick up any old useless fools and call them bridge burners." And Hedge is like, "Why not? You guys were useless fools."
Like, isn't that what like the whole thing?
That's the whole thing.
Yeah. That was like the definition to what our squad was. Dispensable and deletable by mages.
Yeah. And I love this because where it's headed, right? is so beautiful. But right now, Fiddler's like, no, you don't understand. And Hedge is like, no, you don't understand. You've lost perspective on what you were, dude, what all of us were.
Mm-hmm.
So good. And Fiddler leaves weeping, and he thinks we're all going to die. Can't he see that? And I can't lose him again. I just can't.
Yeah. Fiddler walking away even, and like, he doesn't get where he's going. He takes a knee, which again, just to everybody's so exhausted. Everybody's got cracks showing. And Fiddler not like being able to have enough energy to kind of like huff away. But the expenditure of so much energy that he has to like take a full beat like that is another thing that's just emphasizing how we're starting this final battle already beat down, like the lowest of the low.
I think it's beautiful. I mean, not to leap ahead at all, but I think it's beautiful how Erikson gives us the feint that one of these two is going to die. In particular, I thought Hedge was going to die. Like I thought for sure. And then, later on what happens, we'll get there. It's so a beautiful head fake. But, Fiddler feeling the weight of command, which he has done throughout the sort of last half of the series. He says, I need to be a captain, the one in charge, the one to tell my soldiers where to die.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So then we move over to Korab, who is like, you're all my family today. So beautiful. It's all the soldiers sort of getting ready to leave, kind of coming to terms with the fact that this is bleak and, facing their own mortality and realizing that the odds are overwhelming, that they are likely going to their deaths. And Korab has this moment with Smiles where he's like, hey, your hair makes you look almost pretty. Which is just so brutal.
Yes, like, hey, man, that's not how you say that.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
I see what you're going for, and that's not how you say that.
Yeah.
I love Korab being like, you're all my family, and that's like very powerful for like him and the fact that he has been sort of like with his chosen family with the Malazans. But I do feel like this last chapter to some degree feels like a sad family reunion where there's a lot of people who've been there, but we check in with like everybody. But so many of them were checking in being like, oh no. They're gone too. That
happens during the battle, right? But I feel like this is checking. It is so beautifully poignant. They're all like Erikson's doing a lot of work to make us understand in each of their heads. They all know this is the end too, right? They're all marching to certain death in a way that even the battles previously, the huge confrontations that they've all lived through. And I think at one point we have somebody literally like list all of them, I can't remember who it is. I think we'll get to it. Somebody lists like, maybe it's Cuddle. Somebody's listing like all the stuff we've been through. And this feels like them. This one, they're all preparing to die, like literally preparing to die.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so powerful. And him stepping through each of them and how each of them are doing it, some with humor, some with solemnity. It's just this spectrum of all of these soldiers that we've lived with. And we have this particularly beautiful sequence here where we have this dynamic, this contrast between the heavies and our sort of named characters and the regulars. And the regulars all line up and salute our characters as they walk, and they're like, why are they doing this? Why are they giving this to us? Why are they giving this respect?
Yeah. And it's not, because I love that it starts with not a salute. It is almost defiant. The bridge burners, they are always defiant. They're defying the fact that you think you're going to get this battle easy. No, we're all going to fight till we're dead. Like everything has been defiant. Tavor's been defiant. The bridge burners have always been this way. And it's almost in defiance of Tavor saying it's unwitnessed. To them, it's them witnessing each other. And the way that it's painted in the book is the showing of respect and this idea of sharing the coin. Are we at that scene right now?
There's a few things before that, but we can talk about it because I mean, it's such a beautiful metaphor, and Erickson paints it as this like traditional idiom that that soldiers use as like giving the coin, which is sort of like a stand-in for respect. This metaphor of I give you my respect, and that it's hard to receive it. Like they choke on that because they don't want it.
Yeah.
Incredible. I love it. It says, we only got, us soldiers only got one kind of coin worth anything, and it's called respect. And we hoard it, we hide it away, and there ain't nobody who calls us generous. This is Hedge talking.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something feels even worse than having to give up a coin. It's when somebody steps up and tosses one back at us.
Ugh.
We get antsy, we look away, and part of us feels like breaking inside, and we get down on ourselves. Outsiders don't understand that. It's because all of the friends we left behind on all those battlefields, because we know that they're the ones deserving of all that respect. Some riches stick in the throat and choke us going down.
The idea that people could pay you respect for surviving a battle and fighting hard to do so, and you can't accept that because you survived. It's like that. Yeah. It is a survivor's guilt mixed in with just that feeling of always wanting to be better and that non-deserving. There's so many emotions wrapped up in that singular concept. I feel that it is so beautifully delivered. And in the scene, we get Tavor, Fiddler, Banashar, sort of main crew walking on through.
Yep.
And then the conversation, I forget who's nudging Tavor, being like, you gotta return the coin. Because if they're not just seeing us and we're being uncomfortable, we're all seeing each other here. We're all giving each other the same respect as we go through this. But it doesn't seem like enduring the pain of being like, why are they doing this to us? The resistance to want to do it back to them, because it's like, you guys don't really want to feel this way too, do you? There's kind of, again, it just feels like a depth of emotion in the complex feelings surrounding this kind of salute.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we also, we have this beautiful moment where Fiddler realizes that everyone needs to see him and Hedge kind of reconcile.
Yeah.
And he, grasps, gives him a hug.
Well, he gives him a forearm grab.
Yeah.
And Hedge is like, is that enough? And then he yoinks him into a big hug.
Yeah. And then we immediately cut to the little kids. We cut to Sadek and Badal, and Sadek is like, hey, Badal, what's happening? What are they doing? Those two adults. What's father doing? She calls Fiddler father, of course. And she says, wounds take time to heal. So beautiful. Mm. And she says, it's what being a soldier is all about. You do not choose your family, and sometimes there's trouble in that family, but you do not choose. They come face to face with death, Sadek. That's the blood tie, and it makes a knot not even dying can cut. Mm. Which, of course, is so beautifully... I'm telling you, I'm going to... Warning you, I'm going to get a lot of emotions in this episode, so... Hold on. Sorry. Apologies in advance. But I'm just even realizing right now how beautifully that foreshadows and calls to attention what we see later, or what we currently see of even death can't break that tie. Like we still have this relationship with Whiskey Jack and Trots and the M1. Mallet.
But also Hedge
beyond death, right? We literally
Hedge
have
died.
that. What's that?
And Hedge fully died.
Right. Yes, exactly. So even as all fantasy is wont to do, the metaphor made real, right? Made literal. And it's like this blood tie, the knot persisting past death. It's so good. So good. And then we have another beautiful, poignant moment with Pores. Watching, can't see Tavor, can't see Blistig, who's he's still worried about. And we have this amazing moment where Kindly comes over and Pors is like, okay, what command are you going to give me? And he just puts his hand on his shoulder. He says, no command. No command. You do what you want. And he leaves, and Feridan's sword is like, you realize what he just did there, right? Poor is like, if he had a son to choose, and then he says he was saying goodbye.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
It's crazy to have that, like, that relationship being one that was the extreme comedic relief through all of this wind up to this book.
Yeah.
Followed by, the stabbing and almost dying of Pores.
Yeah.
And now it just turning into like the reveal of the beauty of like, it's not like insecurity. It's just like, it feels inappropriate for the army that you're in to express emotions in these ways and blah, 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 blah. Coming across like this and always having that sort of third person viewer to interpret the actions as deeply as they're intended by those people. It's so nice to have that.
Yeah. And then, of course, at the end, there's this like little question that Pores is like, are the regulars even going to fight? There's this distancing of like them and us, which pays off so amazingly later. But that idea of, and Feridan's like, don't even say that out loud. How dare you even question that? It's awesome. Then we have this, it's just awesome scene after awesome scene because we have Lestara Yill summoning Blistig to Tavor's tent. And we have it from Blistig, our jerkwad point of view, where he's like, oh, those regulars, they look so fragile. I can't believe she's going to throw them just cannon fodder into the fray. Like, oh, another example of Tavor being such a biatch, I think that's an exact quote. I think
he does have like a couple things back to back where he's like, and you got man as the beat. Like it's just, he's so out of touch with the rest of the army.
Yes. And then we have this amazing moment where he goes into Tavor's tent and she's like, hey, bro, do you know why? Here's what you're going to do. You are going to command the center of the army and you're going to have Feridan Sort on one side and Kindly on the other. And all of you are going to fight until you die. And that's it. And you're not going to give up one step back. And he's like, bitch, you're crazy. He's like, that sounds like a terrible plan. I hate you. I've always hated you. You're just leaving us to our death. I don't want to die here. And she goes, do you know why I've kept you in command? Do you know why you're not dead yet? Is because you're the only one that has firsthand knowledge of watching what happened with Coltane and the Wiccans. And if I let you die, then that memory dies.
They're already writing untruths about that history. They're already. It started back in Malaz when they were chasing us out of there. You are the only person who actually has the real account of it. And so you better stay alive. I swear to God.
Here we are,
God.
January 8th, which I don't have to point out is 2 days after a very memorable date that is already being warped and misremembered and lied about. This absolutely rings true. And it's like that memory of what really happened is important to preserve. And here I'm gonna put up with your sort of distasteful conduct,
mutinous, actual behavior.
Yeah. Because that's how important it is to preserve the truth. Mm-hmm. Amazing.
And that was the other reason that they're putting him at the center, right? Because it's actually the hardest place to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like she says, I saved your life all these times. Like there was assassins after you. I saved your life. Like you jerkwad, you have no idea.
And he's like, source?
So good.
Source? Prove it.
Yeah. Pixar didn't happen.
Yeah.
I just thought that scene was so awesome because it's this unanswered question that I've had lingering in the back of my head. I've never even really voiced is just like, why not just get rid of Blistig? Everyone knows he's a problem. What is Tavor even keeping him around for? Here's the answer.
Especially after he actually like killed people in your own army in a time when, and he's like hoarding the water. Like he is a massive issue.
Yeah.
Huge liability. And then you kept him around even after that?
And literally everybody has gone to Tavor and been like, this guy, but this guy, right? He's going to be a problem. And she's like, nope, I'm keeping him in command. Incredible. Incredible payoff for that.
Yeah.
We have another amazing scene where Lestara then brings Banishar into a meeting with all the officers. So like, I imagine in one tent, Tavor is like, dressing down Ballistic in this really awesome way. And then in the other tent, everybody's like, okay, guys, so seriously, like what's going to happen? Like we're all cool here, right? Like seriously, what's going to happen? Hey, Lestara, you're going to shadow dance, right? She's like, shadow dance? That was like a one-time thing. I can do that every day. I was like, okay, cool. All right, so that's all right. Ruth and Good, you still got like icy armor and icy powers? He's like, I don't know. Maybe. If
it comes to me.
Yeah, if the Storm Riders think I should, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. They're like, okay, cool. Banishar. But you've got like that worm god. The worm god's in your back pocket. You can just pull that out anytime. He's like, I don't know.
I control the god? I love everything about that meeting. It's all about faith and like we believe in this cause, and we wouldn't be here if we didn't think that we couldn't win and all of these things. And then even leading into that meeting being like, oh, hey, buddy, we're just going to go right over here. It's a trap. We're in a meeting. Woo! And then in the meeting is everybody being like, we all believe, right? Faith is the baseline. So safe space. But for real, I can't do any of the things you think I can do.
Yeah. But like, don't count on me. It so reminds me of like playing tabletop role-playing games. And
we're all out of spell slots.
Exactly. It's like, okay, well, you got a 5th level spell, right? What? No, don't you remember? We have not had a long rest. Oh God. Like,
it's gonna take some act of God for us to get through this, which you got, right? That's like your thing.
That's like your whole thing. Like at least you got your stuff. It's like, no, I spent mine too. It's so great. But they also are like, we're still, going in there. And they're like, well, what is Tavor even, what is, I can't remember the question. Oh yeah. How does a mortal win over a god? And they're like, well, Tavor simply didn't waver from her path. Like she humbled the gods by her strength of will, her indefatigable, refusing to go down, refusing to stop, refusing to pull back from what she set out to do. That in and of itself humbles the gods. Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Beautiful. I think it was through this section here that now that we're into the tail end of it, I keep alluding to like this YouTube comment that has like haunted me for weeks and weeks now. Yes. And now that it's like haunted me for weeks, I like remember all the words in it and I'm going to put it in the wrong order where it's like, all ascendants are gods, but not all gods are ascendants or something like that.
Yeah.
And this whole time I'm like, that sentence where it's like Tavor never wavered, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, and everybody believes in Tavor through this part of the book. It was weird because I knew it's like one chapter, but my mind's still like saving predictions to like say on the show. I'm like, there won't be predictions. We'll just be through it. I almost wanted to like message you being like, what if Tavor is a god? But that was like one of the things I was thinking of. I was like, maybe by the end of this, because like if it just takes believing in something, Tavor might be this god because everybody has faith and blah, blah, blah. I was like really going down the rabbit hole of my crazy conspiracy board mind palace. Then I now just have to take everything off the walls.
Well, I think, obviously in hindsight, I feel like it's more powerful that she's just a mortal who.
I'm happy that's the result.
Yeah. Just won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop.
And now I want whoever wrote that, and I know that you know because you said it in the Discord again. Explain yourself. I still don't understand it.
Anyway, that ends with Banishar asking Ruth and Good if he's still going to fight for Tavor, and Good replies, with all my heart, which is awesome. And then this amazing description. And I think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first chapter where we get POV from Tavor, even though it doesn't really like sink into her psyche as much. Like his writing is still very sort of external with her, but we get this moment where she gets on her horse, she puts her armor on, and then it says, of all the journeys she had undertaken since the very beginning, this one, from the back of the column to its head, was the longest one she had ever traveled.
Yeah.
And as ever, she traveled it alone.
There's like 2 sections in this last chapter where it isn't with Tavor. We're not in Tavor's mind, but I think it is the only time. Usually we're seeing, it feels like we're standing in the crowd and kind of looking at Fiddler, looking at Tavor. And it's like Fiddler's perspective on what he's seeing with Tavor. Whoever else is in the space's perspective on what they see. And this is the time that it feels like our eyes, like if we are the cinematographer,
Yeah.
feels like me looking through the camera at Tavor and describing, like narrating what we're seeing with all the context that we have of her journey.
Yeah.
It's the closest we come, I believe. Because I was, for a second there, like, oh, and then I was like, oh no, it's still
there's
like
still a
one
barrier
step
there.
away. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. And I think beautifully so. I love that we never really get her internal life, you know? Everything is how we interpret her. Anyway, so next up, we bounce back over to the Forkless Sail. Brother Grave, Brother Aloft, Sister Freedom. They know that the Spire, which was the chapter 23's massive climactic battle, they kind of sense that is happening, but they are undeterred. They're like, okay, well, those guys screwed it up over there, but we're still going to be private. I love how the Forkless Sail, even to the bitter end, are just like, but we got this, right, guys? We got this.
There's like
ain't nobody stopping us. We're awesome.
Also, they're like, those guys maybe messed up the Spire. We don't necessarily have proof that they messed it up. We're just out of communication. Yeah. And it seems like a lot of people are gone. But no matter what, the numbers don't lie.
Yeah. What could possibly go wrong? I also like Sister Freedom is like, oh, BT dubs. Usually we use our magic powers and we subjugate everybody with our voice and we make them do our bidding. I think that's a bad idea this time. Let's just murder all of them. So let's wipe them out. That's the plan. Wipe them out. All right. So then we have this awesome scene. Dude, one of my wishes for the end was what we could have had like double the amount of Quick Ben and Callum scenes, Callum scenes. Just every time we have a scene with them in this chapter, it's just awesome. And, I love it. I will very much miss that duo.
Me too.
And the fact that they get reunited right here at the end of this book and we only get them for a few scenes. It's like, oh, I want more.
Yeah, I agree.
This awesome scene where they're riding to where Tavor is supposed to be. And Quickben's like, wait, I'm sensing she gave up the Otodral sword.
Yeah.
And I think she wants us to go there. And they're like, well, what do we do? Her brother said, go this place. And she said, go that place. And he's like, it is a conundrum. Here's how I would suggest we think about this. When we're dead and we have to face them in the afterlife, which one of them do you think will be more pissed?
Which person would be mad if we did it wrong?
Which one would you be more scared to face in the afterlife?
When
you screw this up.
Love that decision making. Decision making.
Oh, okay, let's go to the sword. It's awesome. It's awesome.
So good.
Yes. Then we check in with Silchus and Tullus Shorn. And they are, Silchus has this sword that was given to him by Cotillion and Shadow Throne. And he's like, this sword is freaking me out. The sword wants to kill dragons. I'm a dragon. Yeah. It's not great to carry it. I don't like it. And he's like, I admit I'm scared of dying.
But isn't Tullus even like, yeah, but it should be like listening to you. It's not like trying to kill you, right? Yeah, and he's like, I don't know. My head hurts pretty bad.
Yeah. And Tullus is like, I'm not scared of death. And I will try to die so that you can live. Foreshadowing. And then Silchus is like, okay, well, I'm taking the sword out. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, he's like, I love that they're like troubleshooting. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
You're frozen. Are you back? Am I back? Are we here? Can you hear me?
Lost you for a second, but you're back. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Oh man, that'll be so annoying if my internet does this. Sorry, everybody. I love that they're troubleshooting the Hust blade, where they're like, I don't know, maybe take it out and like try veering like while holding it.
Did you try turning it off and turning it back on? Totally. But then something very surprising happens. Dragons pop out. 3 dragons emerge from literally the ground. Eloth, Ampelos, and Kels? Kels? And they're like, okay, this is what Shadow Throne and Cotillion were actually giving us. Not a sword, but this storm to take down Korobus, to take down the Atotral dragon. And the dragons are like, hey, cool, thanks for summoning us. If we win, I promise I'll break your chains, Silchus. Oh, no, excuse me. If we win, you promise to break our chains, Silchus. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the chains that are attached to the sword. Silchus is like, cool. And then we pop over to Telerast and Curdle, who, we are reminded, are also ancient dragons, and they are also compelled to join in that ancient storm that is basically Tiam coming
but not
to.
Before their bit of whimsical drama, because they are still like tiny dinosaurs skeletons. Yeah. And I forget which one's leg is off. I think it's Telerast, because it's like, please, I can't move, you have to help me. And it's like this, oh, woe is me, life is a misery. And then they're like, ah, and like turn into they veer into their normal
giant ancient dragons. Yeah. Very funny. Yeah. So then we get over to Korobus's POV. The Atotral dragon herself is, she is being attacked by this mass of dragons. Like, hundreds of dragons are attacking her, thrashing her. She's basically conceded the fact that she's going to die, but she still wants to get to where she's headed. Mm-hmm. She calls it that fated place. She doesn't know if it's a trap or a promise, but she's scared that Tiam is arriving, and she think that is the one thing that could stop her, and
stop everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Which Korobus is, I believe, maybe I'm mistaken, has sort of lamented the fact that she's like, yeah, my whole existence is destroying everything.
Yeah, I want to be a creator.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. Korobus, I thought, a beautifully drawn, tragic character.
Yeah.
Really, your whole existence, you don't want to be that. You don't want to be a blight. You've suffered. I mean, the parallels to the Crippled God, I think, are not unintentional. This creature that has been chained for countless millennia, freed only to feel the burden, and everyone wants to kill it. It's just like, I don't want to be that thing anymore. I thought, tragic and poignant.
Yeah.
All right. So Fiddler and the Marines get to the Atotral sword on the mound, and he's like, this is not going to break the chains of the Crippled God. This is not going to do it. How are we even going to defend this? It's like a tiny little mound, a little barrow. This sucks. And Hedge is like, oh, we got bombs. We got kittens, baby. We got kittens.
Well, I think up to this point, even I want to say it's before that, as they were walking, Fiddler and other people kept being like, man, they brought so much stuff. Look at them waddling around. They're so weighed down with what I assume is kittens. And I think it's this one time where Hedge is like, don't worry about it. I got a little secret. And Fiddler's like, it's not a secret, man. We can all tell. And he's
everyone
like,
knows about the kittens. He's like, how did you guess? Yeah. And then he's like, how many kittens you got? And Hedge is like, oh, Bavadict. The dude's a genius. He's been making bombs, baby. He's figured it out. He reverse engineered the Moranth munitions, and he's making more. That's pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. And then there's this wonderful exchange where Hedge is just like talking nonsense, and Fiddler's like, man. He's like, why are you babbling like that? He's like, well, I'm just trying to take your mind off of it. He's like, buddy, if you didn't exist, I'd have to make you up, which I thought was great. So good.
I'd be talking to myself. Cute.
Yeah. So then, we kind of pop around. Bottle and Dead Smell are talking, and a Bottle comes up to Fiddler and he's like, "Hey man, there's a god here." And Fiddler's like, "Yeah, dude, that's the whole point. That's welcome to catching up to the rest of us."
Like the crippled one, we've heard of him.
Yeah. You're just realizing this now, Bottle. Well done. Okay. Good job. Very funny.
He's like, but he's like, not that one.
Yeah, not that one. He's like, it's the Worm of Autumn who's here.
I love that he kind of like Tribons or Trivial Pursuits it. He's like, I'm getting he doesn't like these tasting notes of wine. I'm getting autumn leaves. I'm getting a little bit of rot. I'm getting slimy, like whatever he says
like,
about it. And somebody's
sommelier of gods.
Oh, worm. That's the worm. Yeah.
Yeah. So funny. So then, we have a moment where Masan Galani is like, man, there's perverts out here. These guys putting their hands down my pants. And the Cinder's like, hey, whoa, what's up with them clouds? That seems like a lot of crazy clouds. And we come back over to the other squad, and they have this very funny exchange about how, like, I also smell something. Is that witter shits?
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
Like they call them witter shits.
Yeah.
Very funny.
It's not like, oh, what a funny gag. It's like, no, he'd be pooping.
He's scared of battle and he'd be pooping. Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up the Masan Galani thing. She's, struggled with perverts ogling her this whole time. And now that it's like on the eve of death, everybody's like, well,
nothing to lose.
Time to cop a feel. It's like, what in the hell? And they're like, anyway, look over there.
I know, it's like, we're all going to die. I'm going to grab your butt. Yeah. Yeah. So then there's this odd scene with Fiddler like going through the House of Chains deck, and he sees the leper card and it's glistening with sweat. And he's like, "Oh, Hedge, I'm so sorry." Which I don't quite get. Like, does that mean the Hedge is the leper card? And why is it glistening with sweat? I didn't get it. But
that was, and I felt like another sneaky red herring to being like, Hedge is a goner.
Yeah, right.
That was my impression anyway.
Yeah. And there is this sweat moment later that I don't know if that's supposed to be a call forward to with Korab's sweat landing on the crippled god. I don't know.
There was two really distinct sweat moments, but I did place Hedge as the leper from maybe
in that moment. Yeah. I don't know why he says, "Ah, Hedge, I'm so sorry for that." I don't get it.
Maybe the leper was Korab. Were Hedge and Korab buddies? I don't think so.
I didn't think so either.
Yeah. I just assumed it was Hedge. But then I feel like Fiddler would be having a bigger reaction to it because he's like, I can't lose him again. And if he thought he was dying,
Fiddler just misinterprets it in that moment. I don't know.
That's why I thought it was a red herring, but I don't know what it actually means then.
Yeah. So then an amazing sequence too. Gurul, who we saw at the end of chapter 23, fly off with the crippled god's heart in its claws.
Yeah.
After Hood is like, all right, bro, take it wherever you're going to take it. And he is, Gurul is thinking about, she maybe, is thinking about, Stormy and Gessler, and thinking that the matron did a good job picking the shield, anvil, and mortal sword. And then all of a sudden, the clouds that we had heard about just a couple scenes ago, we realize are the great ravens, and they have arrived. They fly down and they sort of pick bones out of the ground and construct a little body out of
that
parts.
Wasn't what I pictured.
Oh, okay.
What I pictured is that they were all slamming their own bodies and exploding their bodies.
No, that happens next.
Oh, well,
so they construct a little shell, and then they do the blood sacrifice.
Oh, okay.
With their they dive bomb,
and I just went. I just blurred them all together.
Yeah, maybe. I think what happens is they first, like, I imagine, like crows do, like nest building, they have in their beak, and they're like composing a little
that was
skeleton.
such an, in my mind, like very epic moment.
Epic.
Because it was one of those things that if I was like, let's think about every fact I know about the crippled god, I might have been able to be like, and the ravens ate him to bits so that they are him.
Right.
Was one of the things
right.
I would have pulled. Seeing as soon as it was like, and the ravens were here, I'm like, that's his body. I was like very, very hyped on seeing Crone and Decrew roll up.
Incredible. And also reinforces the idea of sacrifice, because all of them give their lives to this purpose and do so in such dramatic fashion, you know, just like dive bombing and literally pummeling this thing to life instead of to death. And then the final one is the crone herself doing the last bit and like, you know, making, and then dropping the heart in the center.
Ugh.
So cool.
So cool. So gnarly too. Just like really brutal. This corpse coming together from like crows exploding on the ground like Hitchcocky and mixed with Diablo, gnarly, bony, bloody nastiness.
Incredible.
Delightful. It was also one of the scenes that made me be like, oh man, Crone's like one of the first characters we met. We gotta just start at Cards of the Moon again.
I know. I definitely had that thought. It's like, what book are we doing next? Maybe all these ones again? I don't know.
Like, I gotta immediately go back and be like, what was every conversation she had with Caladan Brood? What was every conversation she had with like
yeah. So Crone is the final, you know, the final Lego brick into the crippled god. Mm-hmm. But that creates this detonation that literally casts Fiddler back, knocks him down, and he looks up and sees this broken, deformed, crippled god who's bound to the ground with heavy chains. Dude, the image that persists throughout the rest of this chapter and novel of the crippled god chained to a barrow as a war is happening around him, like for the who's gonna get to him, and he's just sitting there. It is so visual and cinematic and incredible to me.
Yeah,
I just love the idea of him, you know, this sort of withered, you know, deformed figure chained in the center as thousands of people are fighting for him, defending him. Incredible.
And just knowing that it's like, if they break through, like he's chained there, he'll just be tormented there for eternity as they bleed him dry.
Right.
Yeah. Very dramatic and cinematic. I feel like Gen Z being, it's cinema, but like that is pure like
cinema.
It's pure cinema, but it really does feel so epic, incredible visual.
Yes,
cinema.
I agree. And this discussion that they had, that Fiddler and the crippled god did to like just chat, you know, just like hack it out, baby.
I do. It was interesting and strange even to hear sort of like that level of respect. But I guess that's just like his title. But Fiddler,
he calls him Lord.
What's up, my Lord? I was like, you don't talk like that.
Yeah, I agree. It was jarring, but it's so beautiful.
Oh, it's amazing.
Where the crippled god is like, yeah, I kind of did some real dickish stuff. That's my bad, because I thought you guys were the baddies.
Yeah, so we about before.
I mean, it's a whoopsie. It's a real whoopsie. I thought when I first got to this world, you were the ones I needed to destroy, and it turns out you guys are like pretty solid. You guys are pretty solid dudes, and you're gonna like. I don't understand why you're even gonna defend me, because I've been such a jerk.
Yeah.
And
but it almost even feels like he's realizing it in that one. Like there has been like spikes of petulance.
Yeah.
Like we had him in conversation in that some italicized sections where he was like, I don't remember exactly what he says, but it has that petulant energy that we saw earlier in the books. It's like, well, are you going to be here or not? You know, he is still that character that was that villain lace through him was still sort of riding, but now that he's this physical body and seeing the sacrifice that's happening around him, it's like he's realizing it in this moment. And it is one of the quotes that I deleted right before we started talking because I have too many, but I just love him looking around and sort of marveling at the human sacrifice for nothing other than to protect something. They're not gaining anything from it.
Right.
And
Yes.
that is
Truly
something
selfless.
truly selfless. And that is something that so much of the time that humans in particular do because they have faith in a thing. And it's something that even the gods that are frequently the cause of that human's faith dismiss. They don't even see that happening anymore because of the goodness of
Yeah.
their intent. But it is something that is a uniquely human trait, is the ability to be entirely selfless in sacrifice.
You know, in retrospect, of course, you know, it's the thing I've talked about. We had a non-spoiler topic about endings and what do you expect from an ending, and that quote that I always come to of it has to be unexpected, but inevitable. Yeah. Inevitable but unexpected. And that, you know, you looking back in retrospect at the whole series, of course, the final thing that would happen in the Malazan Book of the Fallen is the creature that has been the source of so much of the problem is the one everyone needs to sacrifice themselves to save. Like, of course, we need, it is true compassion. The only way you can get to true compassion is to understand and empathize with your enemy, right? The idea that the crippled God has been actually changed, his perspective has actually moved by an act of true and pure compassion, led by Tavor, but enacted by this entire, you know, cavalcade of soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that's what this series is about, and how beautifully expressed that the final battle is giving of yourself to gain nothing other than it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Insert the supercut of Jeff and Lana saying, "But we know the crippled god's the bad guy."
I mean, it's
beautifully said. I mean, that is, I have nothing to add other than admiring how you just phrased that. It is so, it feels like something, it's just one of those things that so many times during this series, I'm like, would there have been a more resonant or more effective time in my life to have read this series?
Wow. Yeah.
In my lifetime, seeing the absolute absence of compassion from people, seeing greater and greater divisions being drawn between people all over the place, not knowing their neighbors and thinking of everyone as an enemy and only looking out for themselves. Like, there's so many themes throughout this entire series that it feels so tragic that I feel like we're living this every day. Literally every day something happens. Just yesterday.
Yeah.
Brutal news in Minneapolis. And
yeah.
Having this as both like the catharsis of seeing people do it right and the outlet to just be able to process feelings I'm feeling in real life has been, I cannot think of a time where in my life that reading through this and having somebody like you who feels so deeply and is so eloquent would have been more important or more impactful to me personally. Just every moment along the way. Maybe this is a next episode thought coming out early.
Yeah. Well, sometimes what is moving me in this moment, not just how beautiful you put that, but sometimes art arrives at the right time.
Yeah.
And when it does, like you see the power that art wields or can wield. And, you know, I think it's another thing that is all too sad in our world is how de-emphasized art has become, you know, culturally. I think pop culture has sort of overtaken. Whatever. You're right. It's a next episode discussion, but I thought beautifully said. And this notion that comes up immediately after this, where Hedge and Fiddler are talking about the fact that the gods may have used them, but it made them better people, and that made for better gods. Like when we become better people, we make better gods.
Yeah.
I mean, put it on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, write it in the sky. Let's get on that page, please.
Yeah.
Especially, again, in this world where so much of, from my perspective, religion is used to enact the opposite of what it actually tries to instill in people. If we are better people, we will get better gods. That is such a profound observation.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. Cut over to Calm, who understands that the fork of the sail are falling. They've lost the crippled god's heart. But Calm has a solve. She's got her super weapon in her back pocket. She's got the Hail Mary to end all Hail Marys. And it's called Icarium. She's got him ready to deploy. And she knows that he can do the thing that the fork of the sail have wanted to do, which is destroy the world, basically. He is the life stealer.
Time to get the life stealer out.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And we have this just exquisite end to Mappo's journey where he arrives so close. He's right there. Icarium is right there. They can reunite. He can save him.
So tragic.
Calm, of course, stops him and not only murders him easily, he's at this point, he's abandoned the children, Tool's children, has sort of is empty inside. He's a shell of the man he once was, physically, emotionally, everything. But he still has this love of Icarium. He still has this devotion to his friend. And she not only brutalizes him physically, just crushing him like a grape easily, but she steals everything from him, tells him, oh, the Nameless Ones, it wasn't about your duty to prevent Icarium from anything. It was about stopping you, jerkwad.
Ugh.
It was about taking you off the table. Giving
Crazy.
you something, giving you a purpose so that you don't actually find your real purpose.
Crazy. Is that, do we think that's real? Do we think that's just parting shots for the sake of pain?
Either
Does
way,
it matter?
it's brutal. I took it as the gospel truth. I took it as like the twist that none of us saw coming, is that you, Mappo, and all of the dudes like you are the real, they felt were a threat. And so they just gave you busy work.
Yeah.
Busy work that would come to nothing. That is just a treadmill of impotence.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not actually going to stop Icarium. He is perpetual. He is infinite. He will always be here. There's no preventing him. You're just the
next guy who needs to do a job.
That's right. There's nothing important about you, buddy.
Ugh.
Brutal.
Yeah.
But then, of course.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, and does he, I forget if he has them in his hands while he's walking, the blue shards.
I think, doesn't that happen later?
He mentions them. That's like one of the things that he recall that at some point during this book, he has a little flashback to a precious memory of finding those shards and being like, yeah, we'll put them back together.
Right.
And then I feel like that was one of the things he was clinging to as he was going through the desert, was having these shards still and being like, I'm going to show him these and we're going to put them back together. And that's the thing. It was one of the core memories that kept driving him through here.
Right.
Because I
Which
think
of course
that's
is a
why
metaphor for Ikariam himself, right?
Yes,
The putting
yeah.
the pieces back together.
Mhm.
But Calm gets her head plumb cut off by a Toblakai, which I'm assuming you knew immediately, as did I. That was Ublala.
Yeah,
Bung.
because we know Karsa's elsewhere.
That's right.
Yeah, Ublala, but still very poetic to have Calm be taken out by the Toblakai.
Yeah.
For a second, I gave it like a reread because for 1 minute, I was like, did she die, get like a 1-2 hit in the same way that she killed Karsa's buddies?
Oh,
But she didn't.
that's interesting.
But
Yeah.
I did think it was like a nice full circle thing
Yeah.
to have her cut down by the Toblakai.
Yeah. So then we get some more sort of battle explanation. Brother Grave tells them to, he's watching the birds. He's like, what is going on? And tells his troops to surround the burrow. And on the burrow, Vastly Blank is like, hey bro, Fiddler, we're surrounded. As he's like eating his toenail, which is pretty gross.
Oh, gnarly. That was just like a gross little detail. He's like just
sucks on
sucking
it.
the blood out of it.
I know, it's so gross.
You low on iron, my guy?
All right. So then we have maybe my top 3 moments in this last chapter, I would say. The Calanci are advancing. Everybody's afraid they're going to die.
The Calanci are advancing.
They advancey Calanci. They're not dancing. And Herb looks at Hellion, is like, this is it. We're going to die. This is all I get. This is the last chance I get. I love you. And she's like, what? What'd you say? What did you say? And
Everybody shut up right now.
It's
Everybody shut up. Herb's talking.
Massive battle going on around, this the things are exploding because Hedge's kittens are being detonated everywhere. And she's like, what did you say? Hey, you, what did you just say? And I love it because her whole personality has been anger and, go fuck yourself and all this and so it feels very consistent with like, how dare you put that on me at the end? How dare you? I'm angry at you. He laments that she's sober and and beautiful and clear, and it's like, not the time he wants to tell her this.
Yeah, because if she was drunk, then she would forget. It'd be so easy because she wouldn't be distracted. It wouldn't matter. Yeah.
I mean, how beautifully set up is this moment? Just like all the things we know about each of them, and the blast. Again, cinematic. It's like Saving Private Ryan around them. It's
literally
just like,
fireworks.
It's so great.
So I love that they like clamber over to each other, big smooch, da da da. And I think it's Cuddles like, what? Get off me! Because they're like on either sides of people. They like climb over him, and that happening, and him being like, "What the heck, you guys?"
I mean, come on,
gorgeous.
Come on, Hellion and Herb. Dude, who knew it would be my stand and cheer moment at the end? Incredible. But then, like right after that, we are just thrust into this battle, like sort of unceremoniously engulfed in it as readers. It's not like he gives us this and then they start fighting. It's just, now we're in it. It felt so overwhelming, even as a reader, to just be submerged in death of characters that I've been with for novels and mean something to me and I care about, and they're fighting. And we have Salt Lick stuck to the ground with an arrow in his foot. Just like, fine, I didn't want to move anyway. I wasn't going to step back.
Yeah.
Goes down. Korik dying.
Does Korik die immediately? I don't think Korik dies, but gets knocked.
Oh,
because
okay.
later
It's not. Yeah.
Korik witnesses.
You're right. Yes, Korik sees the thing, the big thing.
Yeah.
You're right.
I wish it was. Yeah, there's like scene after scene after scene, and we can try and get through them all. But what I loved about it is that it is overwhelming, and like there's battle. But because we spent so much of the book being like, we are marching to die.
Yeah.
Because I'm like expecting that. It did
Yeah.
feel as a reader, I'm more witnessing this and like I'm giving the coins to every one of these scenes as I'm reading them.
Beautifully put. Beautifully put. Baden Grook dies. Sinter howls as he dies. Lap Twirl dies. Skull Death dies.
Like the whole time you saw him like chopping people's heads earlier, and you're like, that's what they call him, skull death. But then he gets chopped in the head. Come on.
Yeah. We have a Hedge. We just arrive at Hedge standing over the corpse of Bavadict, who we didn't even see go down. We just heard Hedge like saying he's a genius, and he's just standing over his dead body. Mm-hmm. Hedge saves Fiddler, who twists his ankle, and Hedge pulls him back, and then just runs back in, detonating bombs. Bottle gets a spear to the thigh, pulls it out, and he's like, just stuff rags in the hole.
Oh yeah, pushes it all the way through.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. Oh yeah. Ugh. And through all of it, what happens? The crippled god, chained in that position in the center, witnesses it. I mean, I told you I'm going to get emotional a lot in this episode. I'm sorry. We have this notion of being witnessed or being unwitnessed. That is a refrain that has come up repeatedly in the series. We have Tavor, I believe it was Tavor, or Banisher, one of them, pretty certain that they were going to do this unwitnessed, right?
Tavor.
And the notion throughout that we have to sort of witness each other, we have to be there for each other. But who in the end is witnessing them? A god. I found that so powerful. I don't even believe in God. And I found that so powerful. Mm-hmm. The deity who is just unmoving, chained in this spot, there to witness it. To witness all of them sacrifice for him.
The being that people are fighting to steal his power.
Yeah.
Being so helpless. And on one end, it's like, aren't you like the most powerful guy? Don't you have like alien blood that is powerful in the way Cruel's blood is powerful? Isn't this something that you could do now that you are corporeal in some way? There's like some amount that's like, do anything, man.
Yeah.
But he's just there to see.
And that's important. It's important. Beautiful. Then we pop over to the Talana Moss, who are they're standing near the regulars. They were going to go help the Marines, but instead they decide to go with Tavor and the regulars, and to prevent the Fork of the Sail from getting to the crippled god. And they have this very, I thought, sort of light banter that was kind of needed in that moment after all this sort of heaviness of who's going to do it. Like, no, I will sacrifice myself. No, I will sacrifice myself.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. Lestara, as this other thing is happening, all these bombs are going off across the way. Lestara is watching Tavor prepare for battle. And she opens this box that has the Perrin family crest on it. And she takes out a necklace.
Before she opens it, one of the things I loved is like we sort of get like the ritual sort of tenderness of preparing for that battle. And we get some of the methodological. What's the word? I can't. My mouth's not working with my brain.
The methodology.
The methodology. You could
Yeah.
see that Tavor is like very like this is the process of the selection of these pieces and putting it on.
Yeah.
And then when she pulls out the box with the House Paran on it, she like takes a moment and just like looks in it. And Lestar is looking at Tavor, and in that moment she's like, "Oh, it's like a private moment. I should go."
Yeah.
And then she's like,
Right.
"No, I was asked to be here so that I could help. I have to be here to help." And so she
Right.
stays to witness again this like little vulnerability feeling moment for Tavor.
Right.
And then when she opens the box, she pulls out the necklace with the Talon on it.
Now, what did you make of that?
She's a Talon.
Yeah.
Which is like, I think way back when Tavor got placed at the head of the army. And there was the book that, of course, I'm not going to be able to place it in time, where the bridge burners were like, is she one of us or is she one of them? Is she
Right.
for the Emperor? Is she in the
Right.
Empire? Like a
Yeah.
mole here to try
Yeah.
and get us, which there's like the Claw, which is the Empress, and the Talon, which is the Emperor.
Yeah.
Like, what is she?
Yeah. And she
Uh,
says
or is
straight
she
up
a
right here,
Bridge
she says, I'm a child of the Emperor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that she's a Talon, and of the Talon was what I took from it.
Pretty rad.
So, which is interesting because at the end of that book is like, is she with us or with them? You're like, oh, she's with the bridge burners because she like helps them get out of the city. And she's like,
Yeah.
chooses them and blah, blah, blah. But she was one of them. She was with them.
That's right.
It just turns out they were actually all on the same side.
Yeah.
The
Exactly.
bridge burners just didn't know it.
They just didn't know it yet. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then we have that another beautiful moment of crack in the armor where Lestara notices the perfume in her hair, and she has this overwhelming sense of sorrow.
I assume that was like to Amber perfume. Just like, just knowing that would be a detail that she puts in, thinking it's the end of her life and doing her best to like,
Yeah.
leaving it all out on the field, you know?
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, man. And then outside, I also loved this. Outside, Banishar is just waiting patiently and holding the horse that she's going to ride.
Mm-hmm.
And she comes out and she's like, hey, why are you here? I thought there's like dudes.
She's like, sorry for keeping you waiting. If I knew it was you, like, there's other people who are like used to waiting. You didn't have to be here.
Right. He's like, oh, I told all them to leave.
Yeah.
It's my job. I'm here for you.
Oh,
beautiful. And then he says it's an honor, to be here. And then she goes and she has her St. Crispin's Day. It's. I think we're gonna read it at the end.
Yeah.
I think it's worth reading. It's a beautiful speech. This notion. This is going to be a weird thing to bring up, but Tom Cruise. I've always heard. I have some firsthand knowledge about or secondhand knowledge, I should say, about this now. But I've heard that one of the things that's remarkable about Tom Cruise, obviously, lots of feelings about Tom Cruise in lots of directions. But one of the things that's remarkable about him is that supposedly he always remembers everybody's names.
Yeah.
And that even on a set, people have told stories about, some key grip, some sort of non-essential below the line person on a movie set. And he'll be like, oh, hey, so-and-so, how's your this? We worked together, 7 movies ago or whatever. And like, he has this incredible ability to sort of remember people and that it's important to him. And I have always thought that was incredibly powerful and an admirable skill and an admirable effort to do that.
Especially as somebody looked to as a leader.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And here we have this incredible moment where Tavor calls out by name characters who've never been named in the entire series. And I'm going to get emotional again. Because here you have this writer who has built a world and peopled it with hundreds, if not thousands, of named characters in a way that is completely unprecedented to me as a reader. Like, I've never, regardless of how epic a book, a series I've read, I've never been introduced to this many pure characters. And here is that author saying, for all of that, there's still more. There's still ones that you have overlooked, that everyone has overlooked, that deserve to be named.
Yeah.
That even the sidemost of the non-essential, of the peon, of the, all of them have humanity, right?
Yeah.
And Tavor sees it. Tavor knows it. Tavor calls it out and says, I see you. I witness you. I remember things about you. I know your relationships to each other. I have not been aloof. It's extremely moving to me. Sorry.
No apologies necessary. I feel like if I let myself crack, I'm trying to pull a Tavor and just
Be the rock,
keep it
be our
together.
rock, be our cold iron.
It's my cold iron in the face of the end of this book. There's one scene in particular that I can't even think about, or it'll get me. But this was one of the scenes that I also found very, very moving, very, very powerful. To have her it's not even showing her hand. I feel like she has nothing else, but I feel like she has nothing else to hide. There's nothing else that she needs to keep close to the chest. And so she's making it clear that not only is she sort of done all these things and had to do this, but she sees you along the way. She knows the sacrifice you're making. She respects what you've done, and it has impacted her.
Yeah. And no one is less than anyone else.
Yes.
Right? Which works on a metatextual level too. As I said, like, it's so powerful to me that we have constantly been reinforced with this throughout the series, where even this tiny character gets a beautifully illustrated backstory, or, you know, there's a level of depth and three-dimensionality to every single character we're introduced to. And here at the end, Erickson still reminds us that that's not everybody.
Yeah.
That when he talks about hundreds or thousands in an army, these are people.
They're individuals.
That's right. And the regulars and the dichotomy between the regulars and the heavies and the sort of named important, you know, characters that we have this familiarity with, there's still a distinction without a difference, right?
Yeah.
That there are still important dynamics that are happening that we just haven't talked about yet. You should be reminded that all these people are people. Yeah, she knows it. Tavor knows it.
By nature of needing to talk about a battle and be able to give you clarity on what's happening at all and to let things progress. As a writer, we have to talk about things from a bird's eye view. We have to talk about groups of people, the heavies, the regulars, the Marines, etc.
Yeah.
But more than any other writer that I've experienced in any work, trying to make it clear and zoom all the way in that this is a big battle comprised of people with lives, with agency, with choices that they've made to be there and to follow Tavor and to be willing to sacrifice themselves, their life, and they have lives. They have those, and they're giving them up.
And on a sort of macro level, in order to have compassion, you sort of need information, right?
Yeah.
It's easy to abstract the thousands.
Mm-hmm. It's
easy to abstract the regulars, right? But having information about the details allow the compassion, engenders the compassion.
Mm-hmm.
It's just incredible. It's not fair. It's just not fair. I also love, we have this moment of Ballistic, like, thinking she's still terrible at her job.
So this is the spot where she like gives the speech, and the speech is like, you're all gonna die. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like we are gonna do this till we're dead. Period. And I appreciate you.
Yeah. The thing I'm asking of you is to not stop doing what you're doing until you die.
And,
Bye, everybody.
And Blistic, this is where Blistic's like, can you even believe that absolute dog water speech? None of these people, I can't wait to probably kill her later. And then he's like, what are these people? It feels like the person in the office who's like, get a load of this guy. And then they look around and they're like, oh, just me? I'm the only one.
Birthday party for Phil? Are any of us going?
Exactly.
Oh, you all are? You brought party hats? Oh, okay.
Exactly. But that sentence of like him looking around, like trying to be like, right, guys. It's like, he's not saying anything out loud, but that's the vibe.
It's so great.
But he looks around and he sees on their faces the coldest iron he's ever seen. And her
So great.
instilling that resolve, instilling like the cold iron wins wars. It's great. It's great.
This is inspiration. This isn't working on any of us, right, guys? Everybody? So good. So good. And then we cut over to the Fork of the Sail, who are also like watching this speech and being like, they know there's like way more of us, right? It's like they know that we vastly outnumber them, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like they're still gonna fight us. This is all right. Okay.
It's crazy that these guys are like so dumb.
Yeah, it's like I love how constantly they're just overconfident and never learn any lessons about it.
They're so confident, but it is also so funny that they're making their confidence-based decisions being like so far away, like squinting. Like later, they're like listening and they're like, see, they're quiet now. It's like you can't even see them, and you're like, we got this. Like you have no idea what you're talking about.
And also, like our other contingent at the Spire, we know has failed miserably, but we still got this, right, guys? So good, so good. All right, so then we go over to War Leader Gaul. And who has a conversation with Havanat. The War Leader Gaul resolution too is just masterful.
Yeah.
You know, he says, I'm going to die. And Havanat says, I know. And he says, I'm sorry that I was weak. And she says, you know, you're the war leader and you hold yourself to a higher standard, but you walk the same ground as everybody else. You know,
I also love that she won't let him undercut himself really in this conversation. He's going off into this battle and she's like, no, you have your strengths and you're about
still
to
a badass war leader, dude.
Do the thing you're good at. You walk the same ground as everybody else. You're not good at everything. You aren't good at being a husband, but this is what you're good at. Go do what you're good at. And she like gasses him up.
Incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then they hug. They have like their last embrace, and it really does feel like a nice closure to that.
It does.
Dramatic relationship.
It's beautiful, and also the invocation of Coltane and the Wiccans at the end too.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So then we pop over to Ferdinand Sort, who's like, everybody, Fork of the Sail have this magic power. I want you guys to resist it somehow.
They can like yell at you and tell you to do stuff, and I'm here to say, don't do that
don't
stuff.
Do it. Just don't.
If they're like turn around and stab somebody, don't do that. If they just say die, try not to do that too.
She's all like, right. I have no idea how we're going to do that, but we have to really try not to do that. And it's awesome. It's an awesome setup for like, we have to stand in the face of this power that we have literally no defense against.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to Sister Freedom being like,
I know.
Like just about to just obliterate them with the voice. The thing that we just were told they have no defense against. She's like, here it goes. And then underneath them, the Telemamas just come up out of the dust Sword first, baby.
Sword first, but here's my thought. Sword first, so epic, but like kind of missed.
yeah.
It could have been.
It must be hard to see when you're dust.
When you're dust, you're like, so my eyes are sort of scattered, so it sort of sliced through. Could have been a double heart stabby situation. I guess they're not the double heart stabby pros, but
Right.
It was like very epic, and they didn't quite get the word out that they thought they would, but they didn't get to not yell nothing.
Yeah, and exactly. Did the job in that it didn't obliterate all the troops immediately. Yeah,
but we didn't get no damage from the pure.
Exactly, because they start and Henar Vigalt's face gets flayed. That's not good.
Everybody just starts bleeding out of every orifice.
Yeah. They're like, we were hoping that the residual effects of the atotral. No, it's not doing anything. Oh, okay. They're just gonna make us bleed out of our faces. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Every pore. Tavor, I mean, it is just one of those things that it's like Tavor is even more badass now. Yeah. I think leading up to that, one of the things that maybe Tavor was like, does her speech and then is pushing ahead. She's trying to lead from the front, and she's like the tip of that spear to the point where people are trying to catch up so they can properly defend her flank. But she's like wedging so far ahead. And through this time, people are trying to be like, we're not saying retreat. We're just saying you got to come back into the ranks a little bit so that we can actually be like a good front here. And she's just powering forward and sort of staring people down, being like, you want me to stop? I'm not going to stop. She has like the battle madness, I think that they call it. And then it is the slight, like the half words that get spoken by this pure that I think slow her step enough that they can kind of bring her back into a more solid front.
Yeah. The potency of that pure Forquil Assail magic. That's just like, even not a full attack is going to do that to us. Pretty intense. But then, of course, another incredible moment where Badal steps forward and starts chanting these 4 words, gems and diamonds. I can't remember what they are, but the last one is shards.
Yeah. And
sick.
Just like the loop back around of that, Badal using whatever little power she still has with a voice to be like, it's time to come back and get your little bitty of vengeance here.
Oh, dude, the setup of how, sorry, I interrupted you, but the setup is so good. You can go.
You please.
Oh, so, this, everything the entire harrowing journey we had with the snake and the fact that we saw these little children get attacked by the shards, figure out how to like use the shards for food.
Yeah.
Harrowing, utterly harrowing. And at the end of it, we find out, those shards the whole time are the divers of the Forquil Assail god.
Because we find out sort of midway through that it is a forgotten god, but I don't think we get it placed as like whose god, what god. We're like, yeah, that's like a god that got lost in the divers and never was able to come back. And the setup to this moment of Badal being like, come on back, get your vengeance. I'll name your ass. You're the Forquil Assail's god. And it's like, they've been not praising you in a hot minute, I think.
So good.
So the shards come down, like immediately manifest in a cloud of the shards and eviscerate from the inside out the Forquil Assail that the Talanamas are battling. Because even though they got that initial stab, it got some good chops in on those Talanamas, sort of pulverizing them down to powder.
Well, I think it's a couple of different Forquil. It's Aloft that gets the shard treatment, and Sister Freedom was the one that got stabbed. So it's, but like the way it's described of like them going inside every orifice and like popping the eyes
eating
from the inside
through the eyelids and then bursting the eyes. Brutal. And then Badal being like, okay, you're like really strong. We get it. Go away. Go away now.
Thank you for your help. Bye-bye. Okay, we'll call you if we need you. Don't call us. We'll call you. Yeah. And then her thing where she's like, if we go down, my final breath is going to be to call them back.
Oh,
Just like, oh, so epic too. I mean, it doesn't come to pass, but it's just an awesome.
I know it's like, oh no, does that mean we're going to see that? Do I want to see that? Do I not want to see that?
Yeah. So, and then we have them charge. Gaul calls a charge. Feridan's sword leads the charge, and then we have the POV of those group of regulars that Tavor named. We just were introduced to them: Ordinary Gray, Griff Fan, Could Howl, Hair Ravage, Sample. The ones she called out specifically in her speech are like, let's do this. We may be regulars, but we're awesome. And we're just such a cool payoff of all of that.
Yeah.
Kindly orders Pores to guard the children at the camp, because I love how the children are not forgotten in all this. I feel like, oh yeah, there's like a whole bunch of kids that are in the middle of this awful war right now. Pretty awful. And then we pop over to I think a new character, Tristan, who is one of the lesser watered Fork Sail.
Yeah.
And sort of, I love how we get this from the Fork Sail perspective.
Yeah.
The 4 people who we know, who Tristan does not, that come up to guard Tavor. And it's Lestar Yill, Ruth and Good. It's those 4. But the fact that she doesn't know who, or Tristan doesn't know who they are, and is shocked that it's just like this few. What are they going to even do? How are they going to defend her?
And is it this moment that Tristan's like, there's like none of them. There's like none of them.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm getting like a vibe of respect. Like they don't have anybody yelling at them in their brains to like command them. They're not enslaved into doing this. They're just choosing to do this. And that's, is it this moment that the Fork Sail's like, I can feel even through my enslavement that they're feeling awe.
Yeah. I don't know if it's right here, but it's around here. Yeah. So cool.
I love that sense building through the perspective of the Fork Sail. I thought was very cool.
And then we have this awesome moment where the regulars, there's just the squad mages of the regulars, have some sick illusions to unveil, and
so ridiculous,
so rad. But I love how it's described, and you're like, oh yeah, I can see that happening. And they're like, oh, those guys bought that illusion, idiots.
They're like, time to do your thing. Then it's like suddenly crazy demons crawl out of the ground, and I'm like, I don't recall seeing these particular demons, but. And then they're like, can you knock it off? They're going to see through that. That's like so over the top. And they're like,
shut up, they can hear you.
I mean, it worked. Got him.
Yeah.
And they're like, we only had one. We pulled out all the stops.
Then, maybe another of my top 3 moments in this whole chapter is War Leader Gaul. He's gonna die. He's been slashed in the center. His intestines are spilling out. He watches the 3 fists still fighting, refusing to go down. Kindly, Sort, even Blistig, and he's like, wow, I wish we. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's Banishar. Anyway, he's like, I wish we could have done something. And then he sort of hears the chanting of the Malazans, Condrill. And he's like, I wish I could have done something. And Sister Freedom.
It cuts to Sister Freedom's perspective, which I love. Because then Sister Freedom's described as like walking over to kill these people, steps over some dead body.
Yeah.
Like that's what he looks like.
Exactly. He knows it's so beautifully written, because his little chapter is like, I got my final moment. I know I'm dead. My guts are spilled out. I know I'm dead. And I got my denouement. I got the chanting Kundrel. We did it. We contributed something positively, and we were witnessed. They recognized us. We recognized what we did. I can die. Cut to Sister Freedom just walking over his dead body like, oh yeah, he is dead. I'm going to go kill that Talana Moss Gnome Kala. And then we cut back to Gall, who's like, gets kicked in the head as she steps over him. And he's like, that woke me up. Why am I not dead yet? Incredible.
And then it is one of those things I'm like, yeah, bodies are crazy. I think this would be not impossible, but disgusting. His guts are spilled out. He knows the weight of them will drag down. He cuts his intestines off.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess you technically don't need those. You need them to live for a long time, but not for a short amount of time. Cuts his intestines out of his body. So just cut the dead weight from his corpse that he is.
Yeah.
Shoves what matters back up into his chest. Sort of holds it there while he gets his last gasp.
Right. And then he uses the sword that cut him open.
Yeah.
He's like, this isn't a cool Kundrel sword, but
I
guess I
love
can
that
use
he disses the sword. He's like, nothing like my Tulwar. Would have been way cooler.
He's like, I guess I'll use this Calancy sword, I guess, because it was literally stuck in my torso.
Yeah.
Walks up behind her, stabs her, saves Gnome Kala. Just amazing.
The effort of stabbing her knocks his lungs out of his ribs that he's holding together. Is like, ugh, and then is gone. Crazy.
Amazing.
Insane.
Yeah. One of my favorite moments of the whole series. Just epic. So then we get Banishar watching the army, watching the fists, kindly Sort and Plistig, continuing to fight, refusing to go down. Pors and Havenot comes up and he's like, I'm sorry about Gall dying. And he's like, what's your baby's name? And she's like, I didn't think it would be even appropriate to name it yet because I didn't think we were going to survive this. Mm-hmm. Until you said it out loud. I didn't even think we should name the baby. He's like, what about Gall? And she's like, no. That's
his name.
That's his name. That's my husband's name. I don't know. But we never really get resolution on what the baby's name is, do we? Did I miss it?
No, I don't think you did. I remember looking for it in that scene.
Yeah, I was hoping she was going to say some new name that I was going to be like, but I think she just says what the name isn't going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the point of time where I was still like, and this is where Coltane is reincarnated as a baby. The red yarn is still up in my mind this whole time. It's like the end of the book and I'm still conspiring with myself.
Amazing. So Perrin, Ganawis himself, he finally reaches the edge of the ridge, looks down, sees this horrible battle happening, the horrible losses that the Malazans are taking. He's wondering if his sister is even still alive. He can't see her. He doesn't know where she is.
The feeling I get reading this, being like, are we going to see the fate of this family being too close?
Yeah.
Too close and not understanding. And then, of course, that continues to pay off thematically. But him looking down and being like, it's just, we never really see them together other than that time with Tavor and Felicity that they don't know they're there together. That's right.
It's always ships in the night.
That moment of being like, the longing I felt for wanting to see a connection for that family in this moment was powerful.
Incredible. So then, he says, charge, damn you, charge. They start, riding down Gandalf style out of the mountains.
Yeah.
And we cut over to one of the High Waters, the Melest, who's like, okay, let's kill him. And Perrin is literally riding, pulls out a card from, he's master of the deck, pulls out a card, flings it in the air.
He yells at it first. He's like, listen here, I know you wanted a battle, you freaking menace. Let's go.
Yeah. Flings it, Gambit of the X-Men style,
Yeah.
It flies across the battlefield, pops into a portal, and Mathok and thousands of warriors charge through in that moment. So rad.
So great. Great payoff of him wanting to be in that battle.
Yeah.
Like, you want a battle? I'll show you a battle.
Here you go, buddy.
I also just love the visuals of of it being like, it opened a portal, and then it's like, but the portal's kind of an understatement. It's actually like a maw in the sky.
Yeah.
Like people pouring out of this thing that's absolutely shredded a huge area.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So then we cut over to Tavor, who's covered in blood. She's like described as her sword is just kind of hanging in place, like she forgot how to even put it down.
She's covered in blood, and I love it's like the tension, it's almost like her body's so rigid that she can't stop being poised to strike.
Yeah. Yeah. Lestara is like, I gotta go tend to her, and Henar's like, babe, let her be, babe. Just let her be, babe. And she has this moment. Tavor, all alone, away from the battle, just looks up to the sky and howls. It says, a cry of anguish that held nothing human. When her voice gave out, all could see that cry continuing in the stretched contortion of her face. Silent now, she gave nothing to the sky, and in that nothing, there was everything.
Oh. Come on.
What did you interpret that cry being?
I interpreted that cry being, I guess for lack of a better term, like the last. I interpreted it, I guess, because Gnu sort of came out, her feeling either that she could do no more, or that the tides were turning in such a way that she was able to have this last release of everything that she had been carrying with her.
Yes.
The release of all of her burden coming out in that one scream.
She's been carrying it for everyone. She's been carrying it, and she finally gets to set it down or send it off, as the case may be.
Yeah.
I mean, incredible.
Mm.
And then we have the moment that parallels the Felicin Tavor moment, where we saw Perrin like very. I even noted it when I read it, and I didn't really know why it stuck out to me. But the fact that that Erickson specified that he put the helm face shield down and started writing, and he gets to her with the face shield down, and the way she has just released this emotion, and he comes riding up, and she doesn't know who it is. She just sees an enemy, and she turns with the sword and swings the sword. And of course, I'm like, it's going to happen again.
I know.
It's going to happen again.
And this is the closest that I think we are ever to Tavor's mind, because it talks about her perspective on that of, there is one more rider. There is one more enemy coming up. I have to get the strength. Not this time. Not one more guy. I can hear their armor coming up, and I have to do something about this. And that's I think the closest we get to having our hands on her heart and sensing what she has going through herself. And Perrin, I think it was described when they were kids, Felicin did not do military battles with Tavor, but Good News did.
Right. Yeah.
So he had some amount of ability to anticipate her action.
I didn't even put that together. That's cool.
And stop her from killing him. And then that was, it's just so great to see somebody have one good thing, and it's in the middle of misery. And that one good thing is just not killing your sibling again.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just is so satisfying to have that and have her have a safe space in the arms of her brother. To just, the biggest burden is that she lost her sister, even through all of this. That's the piece she's carrying with her at the end. Is that she lost her.
Yeah. Oh, I lost her. Oga knows I lost her. I it certainly could mean to Amber. I think it's I think it's intentionally ambiguous that it could mean to Amber her love, right?
Yeah.
Or her sister. But certainly speaking to her brother, it feels more like it's her sister.
Yeah.
Incredible moment. And of course, set up by that incredible moment with Felicin. And that, you know, how Erickson always talks about these, you know, I can't remember the term he used, a very specific term he used, I think in our comment section just last week or last episode, that the symmetrical writing, or however you put it.
Yeah.
Which, you know, it's so powerful. And then, you know, it brings her to her knees. It brings both of them to their knees. And then all the soldiers also go to their knees, like surrendering to whatever was left inside of them.
Yeah.
And then we immediately get to Mathok killing the high-watered Molest and ending the battle. And it's sort of like, you know, it comes to a close, but
not the full close, but it comes to
that
reprieve.
Yeah, that theater that is you know, they've ended that fight.
Yeah.
And then we move right over to, you know, the defense of the crippled god, which is you know, we get to Hellion fighting. There's a lot of death, and we have these characters that we have come to really care for. I've come to really care for, protecting the crippled god, as the armies are right up on top of them, Short Nose and Korab. And in that moment, I kept thinking, Korab's going to have one more lucky break.
I know.
He's going to do it. He's going to have one more stroke of luck that is going to, against all odds, save him and get it done. And no, he dies.
Yeah. Gloriously.
Gloriously,
which
exactly
is what
how he wanted
wanted
to. Yeah, exactly.
And leaping over the crippled god. Go ahead.
And as a Malazan, right? As
Yes.
a true Malazan soldier, which is a Marine, as what he wanted to. Yeah.
Korab is also when he, you know, leaps into his final actions, jumps over the crippled god, and that's where it's described as his sweat falling onto the crippled god's face,
Yeah, like
cooling
tears.
the skin of the crippled god, like a cool rain or something.
Yeah, I think it was described like tears. Yeah, yeah, yeah. An amazing moment, and you know, we are inside the crippled god's perspective through this as well, knowing that if the Fork of Sail get to them, he says they can wound me, they can feed on my power for all time, and none will challenge them. They will unleash my poison on the world. Unleash my poison on the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. As they fall, Fiddler arrives, kills the last that killed Korab. He looks up, he sees Hedge, and Hedge is going to do that thing that Hedge has already done. He's going to sacrifice himself to save everybody. He pulls out that one cusser that he's kept in his back pocket the whole time. Here it is. Here's the moment we've been leading up to. Hedge is going to sacrifice himself. He's going to die.
And Hedge is going to do that because he sees like they've got so many bodies piled up that the Calansi army is like pulling them away. And then just the legions, the sheer numbers that they have on the other side is going to bust through and overwhelm them. And he's like, well, this is it. I guess it's over. And he sort of made that call for himself just from his perspective, which is really zoomed in at the moment.
Yeah.
So he grabs that cusser. He's like, always keep one behind, and starts like holding it like a football and starting to run in. And Fiddler spots him and is like, over my dead body, and chases him down, tackles him, and the cusser flies through the air.
Yeah.
Breaking apart in just a cloud of dust. And both of them look at each other and go, oh, a dud. Well.
So awesome. Such an amazing twist. It's such an amazing payoff for all of the buildup about if that hedge dies, I'll kill him. That kind of thing.
Mhm.
And the fact that it's a dud, and then
It's a dud, but then you're like, oh, they're safe. Wait, he was doing that because their army's like right there.
yeah,
Yeah.
so good. The soldiers, basically say them. Fiddler calls them bridge burners, like validates their title as bridge burners, which was so satisfying and powerful.
Mhm.
And then maybe my favorite moment. I think these are my top three. This was, I think, my number one favorite moment. I do like when Hedge was like, I've been carrying this around the whole time and it's been a dud the whole time. That was very funny. My favorite moment of the whole chapter, I think, is we get just unnamed soldier in the back being like, who are we fighting again? And somebody else goes, everyone. And then they go, well, no wonder we're losing. And they just start laughing. And the laughter is contagious. It rolls. What a perfect what's the word I want? Cherry on the top of this sundae, that the thing that turns the tide, that wins the day, that ends it all is laughter.
And it's so resonant. It's resonant for our experience with these soldiers and their irreverence in the face of anything. It's resonant from any time that you've been in a place where you're like laughing and you're not supposed to, or like the absurdity of something, it just goes past that breaking point. And I feel like everybody has had that moment where there is like a little reprieve of like kind of manic joy.
Yeah.
And having this be here feels great with the people that it's with. It is this moment of levity, and then seeing it, cutting away back to the Calancy and them again, like listening with their extreme confidence, hearing the silence and being like, see, they're done for. Hearing the laughter and being like, they're crazy. They're done for. Like, it doesn't matter what's happening over there. Their confidence is judging them in one way or another. And knowing that they have this moment of levity and they're able to break out of it for a second, give me the confidence as a reader of like, they're coming through the other side of this one way or another. Their objective will be complete, is the feeling that I got hearing that.
Can you imagine? I immediately, by switching over to the Fork of LaSalle POV, it just drove home what it must be like to feel like we have them surrounded. There's 20 of them against all of us. We got this. We got this in the bag. Wait, they're laughing? Like, how chilling that must be to be like, they're laughing, like genuine belly laughter is coming.
I feel like somewhere in the world, those 14 Jaghead are like, hey, that's our move.
Yeah, totally. And then also we get the incredible payoff of Smiles finally smiling
in the midst of their laughter. Like, they're already all laughing, and then Smiles smiling, and that just being like, that's your name, and you're doing like that, just being
it's your
another
ironic
thing.
name because you never do it.
It's not that even. It's not that funny, but once you're already laughing that hard, everything is funny. It's just like, it's such a beautiful, beautiful moment, a delightful, delicious,
utter
cherry.
perfection.
Yeah.
To come through all of this 10 novels and to get to laughter. I couldn't. It's just chef's kiss. It's perfection. And then, it's not even, it's topped even by Cuddle having this little flashback in the midst of all of it.
Well, Cuddle, to be clear, buried by bodies.
Yeah.
Somewhere, already feeling like, knowing that he's dying on the battlefield and hearing this from down the slope.
And thinking back to childhood, the laughter of childhood, pretending to be a soldier, innocence and beauty and love. And the last line is, "You should have seen our last stands. They were something. They were something." Bringing it back to children and innocence, which is another of these refrains that have been so poignant and powerful in this series. Children and then of course we move over to the crippled god, who's vow to compile all of what we've seen into a book of the fallen, which I think we're going to read at the end here. Couldn't be better. Couldn't be better. All right. So then we get back to the forkless sail. We're like, can we just murder all these people, please? Come on. And this is the moment where they realize they were in awe. They're in awe. And he's like, okay, screw that. Screw this awe stuff.
That infuriates them.
Yeah.
Feeling their awe through even their mental enslavement, it makes him lose it.
Yeah. Saying, all we got to do is grab the crippled god, easy peasy, and then none will be able to oppose me. And then, of course, Quick Ben shows up, blasts with sorcery, and then the two double strikes, one in each heart. Compliments of Callum Mekhar.
Oh my God. So good. Him blasting him back, and it's even just described as like, I hit something immovable. It's like, yeah, it's a big old assassin.
Yeah. So rad. It was just like a figure moves forward, and we don't even know who it is, and then just an assault of sorcery. So rad. And then Quick Ben just unleashes more sorcery, killing the army, causing the survivors to scatter. And Hedge is like, hey, look, it's our old buddies, Quick Ben and Callum.
And then doesn't it immediately go to Quick Ben being like, uh-oh, I'm seeing something on the horizon. He's like, Callum, you got to run up this hill, man. And he's like, cardio day? Are you kidding me?
Know, like, so
I
literally was asleep inside a Zath house for like
a decade?
Yeah, a long time, dude. Cardio's not up to snuff, bro.
But picturing like big boy Kalam like hustling up a hill, and Quick Ben's like, anyway, we gotta go. Blah, blah, blah. And sort of gets up there. And then once Kalam makes it up there, he's like, dude, you got to get in shape. It's like such a fun diss.
Great.
But I'm probably bopping a little out of order here. But they notice, hark, what is on the horizon? Looks like one big dragon and then a bunch of other little dragons.
Well, before that, we have the moment with Apsalara.
Psych. Oh, yeah.
Kind of leading Nimander and his people. So like we get some hints that all them dragons are showing up, all the people that can assemble into dragons. All these rifts are opening, dragons are showing up. It's Desra, it's Skintick, it's Corlat, it's Solana and Nimander. They're being drawn up into this storm. And Apsalara says the goddess of the Elent has begun to manifest. Well, which of course, is Tiam.
Apsalara like shows up and is like, see, I led you to the right place. And then all of the dragons appear. And then immediately they're like, oh, we got the brainworm, and they get called, and she's like, oh dang, I thought this is not exactly the way I meant to lead you, and I'm really sorry about the fact that you're being beckoned by TM.
Yeah. So then we cut back to Quick Ben with Fiddler, and he's like, hey, Fiddler, let's everybody get in the circle of Drek. Hey, Fiddler, what's the plan, bro? And Fiddler's like, plan? There's no plan.
Banish our plan? Who's got plan? You got plan? Me no got plan. Banish our plan?
I thought you had the plan.
And Banishar's like, you ever heard of a worm?
You ever heard of a worm? I love it. That is when is that before that when yes. So I skipped over the part where the crippled god, vows to create the Book of the Fallen, and the laughter actually makes the weight of the chains
Oh yeah.
as nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So of course we cut over back to the crippled god. The chains shatter like ice.
Cool.
And he hears his worshipers, his children, calling him from above. The jade. Now we haven't really talked much about the constant reminder that the
up
jade
there.
strangers coming. He looks up. The crippled god looks up, sees this mass of dragons forming the Voltron of dragons, Uber Dragon.
And I love that he's like, I could help. I could bring down those things. And they're like, that would kill everything. He's like, but it would also kill the dragons.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a bad idea. We're just,
I get it.
First off, I got another
You know
one.
what? When I say it out loud, I see where it's a bad idea. Yeah.
But it's like, it's the souls of his people are up there.
That's
and
right.
he has to figure out how to get up there too.
That's
It
right.
doesn't somebody be like, maybe a dragon could fly you up there.
Yeah. I think it's a hedge that says that. Somebody says that.
Yeah.
But Fiddler is like, here's what you got to do, bro. You have to chain Carabbas. Like,
Yes.
that's what you have to do. And Crippled's God's like, but like, I've been chained. I know what that's like. It sucks. I don't want to do that to somebody else.
And they're like,
And-
it's either that or she dies. She wants
Yeah.
this. She's
Yeah,
here.
like, she's cool with it.
Because
she's
she's-
into it.
She is like very into chains, actually.
Yeah. She dies or you chain her. And Crippled is like, okay, I will release my mind and allow that. What? Who are those guys?
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? 2 elder gods show up.
I'm wondering what you thought about sort of the obfuscation of who the gods are. It was like male god of the sea and not male, not god of the sea.
Yeah. And
What
then
was your thoughts about that?
It is interesting because it doesn't take very long for it to be revealed as cruel.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was odd that it was like, I don't know. I didn't take too much time thinking about that. What, did you have a thought?
No, I just was like,
Yeah, it is interesting.
It's interesting to have it
Yeah.
obfuscated and then revealed quite quickly.
Yeah. But Cruel's like, hey, it's me, bro. The guy who gave you Warrens. What's up?
Yo,
You're welcome.
You want to talk about powerful blood? I've been doing that.
Yeah. And so they have this interesting, they take the crippled god by his hand and they're like, you got to walk with us. He's like, okay, I'll walk with you, bro. And they walk over to Heberick, and who's still blind. And he says, who is this nailed so cruelly to this tree? Is it him? He tried to save me. It cannot have come to this. Not sure what that means.
The only person that we know that was cruelly nailed to a tree was Coltane.
Yes,
We
but
saw
wasn't
his
Heboric
body.
himself cruel? No, it wasn't Duiker also nailed to a tree?
Duicher was nailed to a peg. Coltane was actually shown in this book, in the last book,
Yeah. on the
when
tree.
Shadow Throne gives
Yeah,
Silchus the Hust sword.
right.
It shows
Right.
Coltane like, I don't know if he was nailed to a tree, but he's strapped up. But I think talking through it out loud, thoughts live, Coltane was like strapped up to this tree on the pile of corpses in like a god world, dream world, some kind of Warren world.
Yeah.
And Duiker was, I think, nailed to the post, and he was the one who tried to save Hebert, maybe. It was
Yeah,
all
I don't
kind
know.
of related. Could be either. Could be
I'm
both.
not really sure who he's referring to. Yes, but basically Cruel and Male are like, hey, Heboric, you're the dude. You got to do it. You're the only one that could do this. You got to use them jade hands.
You like how he's like, okay, hold my hands. Not yet.
Yeah. So basically the hands have souls trapped in them.
Mhm.
And he uses the hands to reach up and grasp the Totterel dragon. Right?
Well, it's sort of it's there's a magical component. So in like the
Lot
mind's
magical.
eye, the Warren's eye, wherever they are with Male and Cruel and Heberick actually be chilling, they say it's within the barrow is what they're talking about.
Right.
Say that it is. So the implication is that the physical space that is a magical space, my headcanon is that it's under the barrow that they're sitting upon.
Yeah,
That
and
it's
this
sort
is
of
a cave.
projection.
A cave that was bored out by Drek, by the Worm of Autumn.
And there's and the Worm of Autumn is surrounding that that barrow.
Protecting
and
it,
they are saying that it could be empty space, but they're actually underwater. So Mail has like flooded this, so there's like an underwater ocean sort of here filling this space. So they're floating over, and then in the underwater space, he's literally grabbing his jade hand or the Ototral. I forget which hand he grabs first. I think he grabs the Ototral hand first. And so he's holding hands. He says, when I tell you, you have to trust me. When I tell you, grab my other hand, but not sooner or you'll die and everything will die. So they have the one hand hold first, which causes the big jade hand to come out and grip the dragon and pull it down. And it's not fully chains. It's, as far as I can picture, of like Gandalf holding that moth butterfly in the two towers, you know?
Yeah. And there's also a component of the fact that Fëanor's sacrifice that we saw in the last chapter is he said, even gods of war will tire of war. He has absolved you of all blame. His blood has brought life to Deadlands. He deems it a worthy sacrifice. So it's like Fëanor's on board too, bro. In fact, he died for this cause also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's the first big magical thing that happens in the cave.
Right. Yes.
But as that's happening, I think, does it cut sort of back and forth into being like, oh, the dragons over there seem like they're turning into a big ass dragon.
Yes. But it also, like, that causes the TM, the giant conglomeration of dragons to start falling apart, and to which somebody says it's raining fucking dragons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like, these massive dragons are just thumping to the ground, dead. And then Quick Ben's like, I did that. Well, maybe not just me, but mostly me. And I can just, so great. So funny.
And then I think after TM gets dissolved.
Yeah.
Then Heberic's like, okay, now. And then they hold hands again. And the crippled god, a massive green pillar of magical emerald jade colored light streams upwards from him in this moment of extreme intensity of that magic.
Yeah.
And in that moment, you're like, oh, he's going to like ascend now. He's got like his powers. He's going to shoot up the stream of consciousness there, because it is his hand. I guess it's the second hand, is the jade hand that has all the souls. They're kind of going through him and going up to the jade strangers. And cuts to Korik being like, this is so beautiful. There is a god getting his powers. What a time we're having here in the victory of battle.
Isn't this great? I feel so, wait, what?
Nothing can possibly go wrong now.
Yeah. And of course, Cotillion shows up behind, stabs into the crippled god. I found that to be a totally shocking moment.
I found it to be shocking, but it also seemed as soon as the god started standing up and being like, how do I get up there?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you got a physical meat body now, and you can't be using that, is my guess. And so
I didn't put it together until after. I didn't see it coming at all. I thought magic was happening, magic things were happening. And then the fact that the patron god of assassins has to do one final assassination in order to make this happen.
It was
sweet.
Pretty sweet. As soon as it was the stream of stuff coming out of his body, it was shocking. I thought maybe he would just get vaporized. And they'd be like, yeah, that's it. The stream was so powerful that it did kill him, but it was clear to me that his meat body couldn't get up there.
Yeah.
And it was it felt poetic to have Cotillion do it, but it still was a moment of like, wait, did we want this? Is this the way?
The thing that's so striking about this moment that we've been working up to since day one, right, is Erikson chooses to give it to us through Korik's perspective.
Yes.
And from Korik's perspective, it's a murder. It's not positive. It's terrifying, right? It is jarring and scary. And you have Fiddler going, it's okay, Korik, it's okay. This is the only way it could have happened. And it describes Korik falling to the ground and sobbing like a child who lived in a world of broken promises.
Yeah.
Which is like,
conflicting.
Man, it's such a an amazing way to present this climactic, triumphant moment that everybody that we care about has been working toward.
Yeah.
Because it's bittersweet in this way. It is, as a reader, I understand the need for it. I understand the benefit of it, but it's given to us from someone's perspective who's like, we can't have nice things. We can't have nice things.
Yeah. Oh, the only freedom, we freed this chained God. We freed him, and the only freedom he gets to see is his demise.
Yeah.
Like that. What kind of freedom is that? I mean, that was the same choice that we just had with Carabbas, is death or chaining.
Yeah.
And same with the chained God. This equal opposite choice.
Yep. Exactly. Death or chaining. This time it's death.
Yeah.
But but from Cork's perspective, like a child who lived in a world of broken promises, what an exquisite sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Heart-wrenching. All right. Then we're kind of in denouement mode where, that is the real crescendo. And we have this reuniting of Hedge, Fiddler, Quickben, and Kalam. Fiddler literally asked Quickben if what they saw was real.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, I mean, Cotillions standing over there. You want to go ask him? He's like, I don't think so.
Just checking.
Yeah. And then Hedge is like, hey, dismiss the rest of the soldiers because what's next is just for us. Just for us.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, oh, dude, we missed I don't know how I missed one of my favorite moments. Gosh darn it. The part where they're fighting and they're saved by this short little guy with big ears.
Oh my gosh.
And they're like, what is your name? This is something that never happens to me when I'm reading. I cast my head back and cackled, laughing. So I will laugh reading sometimes, but it was like head back, laughing in my seat. Nefarious bread. Nefarious bread. I can't believe you skipped over that. I feel bad, but
yeah, it was Hedge and Fiddler.
Yeah,
looking at they kind of both have a moment like, what?
Who are you? Thanks for saving us. Who are you? Well, me. I'm Nefarious bread. And then they're like, well, don't worry, I got this. You guys can go. And
Nefarious bread, not the glamorous guy. There's a million stories about him and like the soldier that he
tall.
is.
He's got,
he's like a little weasel with bad teeth and big ears.
But then in this moment that we finally arrive at here, they bring up Nefarious bread and they're like, there's no Nefarious bread. We made that guy up. There's just a story we tell.
Yeah.
So
and they're like,
lovely bit of magic at the end. Lovely bit of mystery that still hangs over it. I just loved that.
Mm-hmm.
So beautiful. But Fiddler sends the troops away, and who's waiting there? The ghost of Whiskey Jack, Trots, and Mallet. And Whiskey Jack says, hey, Hedge, good job. Are you ready to come back and be dead, basically? And Hedge is like, not quite yet.
Hedge is like, I don't think I am unless Fiddler says he wants me to die, basically. Yeah. And Fiddler's like, no, you can live till you're dead. And he's like, okay, I'll live till I'm dead. And they're like, okay, man, that's great.
Yeah, so good. And they give him back Fiddler's fiddle.
It's like they would carved patterns in it. I can't remember the name of the patterns. And then they point out a mistake in the patterns.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny. Of like, here's a little thing so that that there's still hijinks happening in the afterlife while we're trying to make you this beautiful gift.
Yeah. Awesome. And I like how they all touch it before they leave, like it's just beautiful. We have a moment with Shadow Throne and Cotillion where they get to have one last, oh, here we are. We did it. But there's it's a very enigmatic exchange, I found.
I thought so too.
Where Cotillion says, I don't like failure. And Shadowthrone says, well, we're not quite done. And Cotillion replies, well, you knew then, of course, and I approve. He says, I guess you had a heart after all. And Shadowthrone says, I just like symmetry, which of course we know is the author speaking through him as well, which is beautiful, I thought.
Mm-hmm. What's your context for this?
I thought for sure we were going to get something more about this.
And we got another thing that was equally as enigmatic later.
Yes,
and I was
yes.
like, oh, okay. And it's one of those things I'm like, I should know. I didn't do my homework good enough is what it feels like when I read something like that. I'm like, it's the last book. Come on.
I know.
What did you mean he had a heart? You had a heart.
I think that is part of that is reuniting Whiskey Jack with Corlat.
But was that their prerogative?
I don't know.
Isn't that like a hood?
That's the only heart thing. I don't know.
Was it a pun? You had a heart anyway. Well, the Crippled God did. Like, was it?
I don't know.
Was it not killing the dragon and killing the there was?
But what does he say? You knew then. So he said, like Cotillion says, "Oh, Shadowthrone, you knew," and he's like, "Oh yeah." And the symmetry.
I should know.
The only thing that I can think of maybe is
the Tavor Gnu's.
No, I was going to say that this is a scene that references something that we haven't even seen yet, and that is Crocus Absolar. Because the symmetry part is the inciting incident of the entire series is them possessing Sari.
Yeah.
And so allowing Crocus and Sari to have an happy ending is perhaps what they're referring to here.
Yeah, maybe. But the positioning of that exchange in the chapter then is odd.
I agree. If only we had access to the author. He'll probably still be cagey about it and won't tell us for sure, but I want to ask him.
Or we're going to get somebody being like, it's obviously blood. It would be
that's true too. Yeah, we could just be dumb and not get it. But I felt like, the fact that you have a heart, the symmetry line is what points me to that. Because symmetry is, because we're about to get all the symmetry in the epilogue. We're about to get to weather vanes and, the most symmetry. And I feel like for them, symmetry is we started by basically screwing Sari's life up hard. Mm-hmm. And we end by actually giving her a happy ending.
Well, and I could see that being like, they could be, I feel like that is a good one. I agree with that. I also could see it being Gnu's and Tavor because that's like the very first scenes in the book. And
that's true
what
too.
This means. I feel like there's a lot.
Yeah.
It could mean anything. It could mean all the things. It could be there. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of symmetry sort of laced throughout all this. So I'll just enjoy the fact that I don't know definitively.
I don't enjoy that. No, I'm just kidding. So then we get Talk being welcomed as a bridge burner into the afterlife, which I thought was beautiful. Denouement for him.
He says, I made it.
Yeah.
Cutie.
Yeah. Beautiful. We also have Gurul, feeling feelings, which is cool for a Kachange male.
Gurul being like, I love these dudes.
Yeah.
Wow. What a crew. Love them forever.
I love this town. He's at the end of. I had to do one last Ghostbusters reference, right?
You gotta get it in there.
You got to. And the number of Ghostbusters reference I've made in this series. So then we have we pop back over to Icarium, who is burying Mappo's body, even though he doesn't know who it is, and he's got his new companion Ublala Pung and Relata.
Yeah.
And he says, I don't know who he was, but I feel close this time. And they leave with the fragment of pottery.
Well, Ublala picks up the fragment of pottery, and his innocence being like, their innocence is, it's sweet to extrapolate what their journey might be together as two silly little guys. empty-headed in each of their own in ways that they are. Ikariam being like just sort of blissful, and Nublabalo being like differently blissful.
Yeah.
But him picking up and just going, "Ooh, pretty."
Yeah.
And then Ikariam happening to catch that and being like, I think I might have just remembered something.
Yeah. Incredible.
Sweet.
Also, I would not put it past Steven Erikson to intentionally give us the word potsherd one more time.
Oh, I thought the same thing.
I can't go out on this series without using
one more
potsherd
sherd. One more
time.
sherd.
I was like, yes, there it is.
I feel like that's a thing that you and I are like, there's got to be sherds. And we talked about sherds so early that every time I see it, I'm like, that's my guy.
I would not put it past him to be like, that's one for my peeps. That's one for my, throwing it out to the Pope. Yeah.
Real heads know.
That's right. Real Malazans love the potsherds. All right. That is the end of the main novel. Then epilogue. 2 epilogues. The first epilogue is Nimander, Corlat, Silchus Ruin, Skintick, Desra. They're with Fiddler, and they're at Stormy and Gessler's barrow. This is sort of a somber moment of respect and honoring Stormy and Gessler's sacrifice. And there's this this tradition of holding these stones, and there's some discussion as to whether Corlat is going to give up a stone or not.
There's like a few things happening in like the tension. They have this. There's 3 people that we see. One is Caliph coming in from one side to join the barrow because the dog is guarding it, and she's the only one that the dog will let by. There's all of the Bridgeburner crew, all the army people paying respect at the barrow, and then separately there's Corlat and the Tistandi sort of looking on from afar, and Corlat feeling big feelings, and wanting to honor her love, wanting to honor her experiences with the Malazans in the way that she thinks would be the most powerful possible way, and talks through like the holding of stones is like there to represent your love for these people. And so as she's debating what gift she's going to give to the barrow, because she knows that's the tradition, she's like, this is the greatest possible gift I can give, is resting my love with these soldiers. Caliph
and the
takes
soldiers
her,
not too happy about that.
Caliph takes her arm, and like this, she feels like such a benevolent little priestess through this, being like, I'll take you. But then Caliph is feeling big feelings too, and Corlat is actually the one holding her up as they get closer and closer to the barrow. And then she takes out her stone to like offer it, and every soldier pulls their blade ready to be like, are you kidding me, lady? And she's like, like her feelings and everything, they don't have her internal monologue of like the greatest gift I could give, and all of them. And even her like questioning of like, we barely knew each other, really, like the love that we spent to shared was so brief. There's no way he could actually feel that way about me too. But he felt so powerfully about her that every single one of them witnessed that, knew it, held their observance of his love in their own hearts, such that if she were to give him up and let him die truly, it was her and this stone that was holding him together. And them being able to be like, girl, if you give that stone up, we gonna give your life up.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna wait as long as it takes for you to join him again.
Yeah. Oh. I like how Hedge is like, we will stab you and cut you to pieces. Also, we're not expecting you not to get with other dudes. Like,
not about that.
Yeah, come on, get your freak on.
The body wants what the body wants, girl. And then as she's walking up, it's like, here's the army. These 2, they look like siblings. This 2 people pulling on rustly like cigarettes, like whatever, sort of going through. One dude staring at me, clearly a horn dog. Like Max is still there, like at the funeral.
Oh, the
just
new
like,
ladies up in here. Get you some Spax.
He cannot stop, bro.
I also love the next scene's so funny with the Jagat. And the fact that Roach comes and pees on Hood's leg. Like the fact that Hood is like Oi. Oh, death getting peed on by a dog.
Is it gonna be like this forever? And
It's
all of them
such
are
a
like, like,
So
like
great.
sitcom freeze frame of Hood, like, oh brother.
Amazing. He's like, this is why Jaga choose to live alone. It's such a great goofball scene.
Yeah. I'd also just love the idea that like he knows these guys from the previous life and like went and became the god of death so that he could just avoid like his frat bros.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm back to being razzed.
I'd rather be the god of death. Yeah. So funny. And then we immediately cut over to Bruce Benedict. And he's like, they're laughing at the funeral? That seems inappropriate. And Aaron is like, yeah, they have odd humor, those guys. Those jacket. Odd fellas. They love their laughs.
And they're like, BT Dubs, you're like brothers almost here.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so great. And he's like, what do you mean? What? He got on a boat? That dude hates the ocean. And they're like, hates the ocean? Isn't his friend the god of ocean?
I loved that. It was that Aaron was like, he what? He's like, yeah, can't stand it. He's like, but his, never mind.
It's so good. It's so good. But I know, perfection.
One last really whimsical Tay Hall detail for the road.
Perfection. Yeah. Then we get some just wrapping up of the surviving soldiers and, talking about Gessler dying for a dog and the fact that they're all going to get paid crazy cash, which is pretty cool. And then Fiddler gets to let Corlat go see Whiskey Jack for one more time.
That was one of the moments that I just thought was so beautiful.
So beautiful. Yeah.
They like, I know that he said that was like when we saw him like a couple of days ago, however long it's been, he's like, this is the last time. I'll see you on the other side. Here's a fiddle. And Fiddler's like, last time my ass.
Yeah.
I'll give you a last time. And he's like, you better get going to the hill. And she's like, I really shouldn't. I can't. Like, we're gonna unwrap the fiddle and you're gonna want to be on the hill. And she's like, I guess maybe I can start walking. And they're like, your man's on top of the hill. And she's like, oh shit. But like that joyful feeling. And like, one of the things I love about this is that we don't see it. It feels like a private, special, secret pleasure for them.
Agreed. Yep. Mm. And the song he plays is My Love Waits by Fisher, which is awesome. Yep. All right. Epilogue 2. We get a happy ending for Onos Tulan and Hetan and Udnas and the twins and the kids. It's just little domestic bliss for them, which is lovely.
Burying each other in the sand and wrestling, tickle fights.
So good. And then we get Crocus heading down the road to meet up with Apsalar in Itokan, which is where this whole thing started.
Where she's gardening in the moonlight.
Gardening in the moonlight, indeed.
Come
beautiful.
On.
And of course we have one last time, Cotillion and Shadow Throne. Let's watch them. And they say, ask if they're satisfied. Cotillion says yes. And he says, should we send the hounds out to remind that fop on the throne who's really running this game? But Cotillion says, no, not yet. Let them alone. The fop on the throne, I think, is Tehal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Crocus and Apsalar get to have their happy ending. And then we get this awesome flash forward, it seems to me, far, far forward, of Fiddler sitting on the dock of the bay with a little boy who dreams of being a Malazan soldier. And of course, hearkening back to that very first scene in Gardens of the Moon where Gnoz, where Perrin himself had dreamed of becoming a soldier, and Fiddler says, don't do it. My advice to you is don't do it. This time the boy dreams of dreams of glory and is sure that he's going to have grand battles in his future. And Fiddler is tempted to say, don't do it, but he bites his tongue. And they have this wonderful exchange where he's living that life that he wanted, which was fishing. But he kind of gives the boy some wonderful little tidbits of mystery to chew on as well.
Little magic for your life. Well, you think I'm fishing for fish, for crabs, fishing for demons, brother?
Yeah.
And only because it's been a while since we last spoke.
So good. So good. And then, of course, the very last paragraph of the main text mirrors the very first paragraph of Gardens of the Moon, which is the weather vane at Mox Hold. And now there's an old weather vane atop Mox Hold that spins and then jams like a thing in chains.
We did it.
We did it.
What a wonderful journey.
Special experience. Yeah. Really special experience. I mean, there are certainly works of art that have changed me. This is among them. I don't know of another work of fiction that has so radically altered my understanding of what can be accomplished in fantasy and in fiction as a whole. Like, this is truly it's one of those complete paradigm shift moments for me reading the series and understanding what is really possible with this form, with fantasy storytelling, with just fiction. Mm-hmm. It's an extraordinary experience, and I'm so grateful to have had it with you, Lana. Truly.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation. I can't believe how much I mentioned it before about it coming to my life and being able to process real things that are happening, but the opportunity to slow down and really try and digest my reading and really be working through a book and I read a bunch before we did this, but never read a book like this, never had this experience where I would process what I'm reading and I will retain this book and the deep memories from this book in a way that is unlike anything I've experienced in my time as a reader.
Yeah.
So I just really am endlessly appreciative of you setting us on this journey together. And, like you said at the beginning, this isn't the end for us.
No.
The book club, a lot more to even talk about with this book, favorite quotes and such coming up. And hopefully Steve wants to talk to us again. And
I mean, grateful to all the people that have been along this journey with us that have guided us through it. We've had so many people help us through it. And that is an amazing experience too. I've never experienced that before. And a huge, in just words do not do it justice, a huge thank you to Stephen Erickson for, writing these novels, but also, sort of
participating with us.
Yes. Being accessible and open and compassionate along our journey of it. And I think so many readers' journey of it. Not just this show, not just us, but he's, it's so accessible and so generous with his time to so many people who experience this work. I think it is certainly consistent with the themes of the book. And you could tell that this is a work that comes from, both him and E.C. Esselmont from a position of, an admirable position, something that I look up to and truly admire, an openness to the world, an openness to emotion and I think what is right, what is good.
Not shying away from difficult subjects.
That too. Yeah. And, being the thing that I find, I mean, this is for all next episode, but the thing that I find so impossible about all of this, other than the magnitude of what is created, is that someone can have put so much thought and care and effort and attention and process and craft and heart into something and still not be precious about it.
Yes.
That is a lesson I will take away from this as well, is that how generous Mr. Erickson is with his work in giving it to the world and allowing, us to mispronounce stuff and not get things right and just let that all sort of be okay and be confident enough with what the work says on its own that he allows people to get to it how they may, And I think there are a lot of authors who would put this level of energy into something and feel frustration if people don't get it, feel frustration if people don't pronounce the words right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's the mark of confidence, but also of compassion and openness and all the things that this work stands for. So, I mean, I come away not just in awe of the work, but just in awe of the art, but in awe of the artist. So thank you to Stephen for all of it.
Couldn't say it better myself. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you.
All right. We're going to talk again more about this. We have some quotes, and I know we're crazy long already.
It took me as long to read the chapter as it did for us to rip through it and pick it apart.
We discussed this chapter in real time.
Could have read it out loud. Yeah.
Probably would have been better if we just had. So I have a real quick one I'll start with just because I have it up.
Okay.
One sentence that I absolutely adore, that it bears out in this, with the laughter. This sentence: there's nothing more dangerous than a man without a sense of humor.
Beautiful.
Love that line. It unfortunately describes our president, and I think is accurate. Dangerous if you don't have a sense of humor. I just absolutely love that. Okay.
Yeah.
Your turn.
My first pull quote is the epigraph from chapter 24. I have heard voices thick with sorrow. I've seen faces crumble with grief. I have beheld broken men rise to stand and witnessed women walk from small graves. Yet now you would speak of weakness, of failings worth nothing but scorn. You would show all the sides of your fear, brazen as trophies in the empty shell of conquest. But what have you won when the night draws close? To make stern your resolve among these shadows, when at last we are done with the world. When we neither stand nor fall nor wake from stillness, and the silent unknowing waits for us? I have heard my voice thick with sorrow. I have felt my face crumble with grief. I have broken and turned away from graves, and I have grasped tight this hand of weakness and walked in the company of familiar failings. Scorn lies in the dust, and in the distance behind, every trophy fades from sight. The night lies ahead, drawing me into its close. For when I am done with this world, in the unknowing I will listen for the silence, to await what is to come. And should you seek more, find me in this place before the rising dawn.
Gorgeous.
That's Journey's Resolution from Fisher.
Fisher's a good writer.
Fisher is like a really good writer.
One of my favorite poets, Fisher. All right, this is Fiddler and Hedge talking about the gods. Listen to me. Sometimes what they want, what they need us to do, sometimes it's all right. I mean, it's the right thing to do. Sometimes it makes us better people. You really believe that? And when we're better people, we make better gods. Fiddler looked away. It's hopeless then. We can stuff a god with every virtue we got. It still won't make us any better, will it? Because we're not good with virtues, Hedge. Most of the time, we're not. But maybe then at our worst, we might look up. We might see that God we made out of the best in us. Not vicious, not vengeful, not arrogant or spiteful, not selfish, not greedy, just clear-eyed, with no time for all our rubbish. The kind of God to give us a slap in the face for being such shits.
Very nice. Very nice. And I know we talked about it already, but that's such a lovely, lovely notion. This is one from real early in the chapter. This is Lastara. Is it? Banishar, actually. It is not enough to wish for a better world for the children. It is not enough to shield them with ease and comfort. Lastara Yil, if we do not sacrifice our own ease, our own comfort, to make the future's world a better one, then we curse our own children. We leave them a misery they do not deserve. We leave them a host of lessons unearned.
Lessons unearned.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's good. All right. My next one is Tavor's speech, which I was going to start halfway, but do you want to do the beginning of it?
I will. Where? I have to find it in my things. I'll do one quick one just because I see it while I'm getting there. It's Hedge. Just says, when you've been dead, everything after that's looking up.
so good.
There we go. Okay, so where does yours start?
She reached the end of the ranks.
Okay, great. I will read the first little bit.
Yeah.
As she rode towards the head of her forces, Tavor could see the dust cloud from the approaching army, and it was vast. Wheeling her horse, she walked the animal on a course parallel to the presented ranks, slowing the beast's steps enough to move her gaze from one face to the next in the front line. When the adjunct finally spoke, her voice carried firm on the wind. Does anyone know you? You, who stood in the shadows of the heavies and the Marines. Who are you? What is your tale? So many have seen you marching past. Seen you standing silent and unknown. Even now, your faces are almost lost beneath the rims of your helms. She was silent for a long moment, her eyes tracking each and every visage. And then she halted, gaze fixing upon one man, a Falari. Corporal Grid Fan, 3rd Squad, 11th Company, Bone Hunter. You carried Sample, the soldier on your left, on your back, the last day in the desert. And before the blood for water, the only thing that kept you and her alive was your love for her. The man seemed to sway before her words. She nudged her horse forward. Where stands Rek'Ai? Here, cried out a voice from the dozen ranks back. When Lastara Yil lost consciousness protecting my life on the day in of the Naruk, you led your squad to recover us. Myself, Hanar Vigolf, Captain Yil. You lost a brother. And to this day, you can find no tears for him. But be at ease. There are those in your squad who have wept in your stead. At night when you sleep. She walked her horse forward a few more steps, found another face. Sergeant Ordinary Gray. When Sergeant Gauntai's squad of Marines broke and tried to murder him, you and Kud Howells held them all off. You cut them down to save Gauntai. Because once, long ago, on the holy desert of Raraku, he showed kindness to you.
She reached the end of the ranks, turned her mount round, and began retracing her route. Who are you? I know who you are. What have you done? Well, you have stayed with me since the very beginning. Soldiers, hear me. This day is already lost to history, and all that happens here shall remain forever unknown. On this day, you are unwitnessed, except for the soldier to either side of you. They shall witness. And I tell you this, Those soldiers to either side of you, they are all that matters. The historian's scrolls have no time for soldiers like you. I know, for I have read hundreds of them. They yield a handful of words to speak of defeat or victory. Perhaps, if so warranted, they will make mention of great valor, extraordinary courage. But the weight of those words is no more and no less than those used to speak of slaughter and murder. Because, as we all know, one soldier can be a hero and villain both. We have no place in their histories. So few do. They are not us. They were never us, and we shall never be them. You are the unwitnessed, but I have seen what you see. I have felt what you feel, and I am as much a stranger to history as any of you. The adjunct reined in again at the very center and swung her horse round to face the silent troops. On the day of the Naruk, they stood for you. Today, here, you shall stand for them, and I shall stand with you, my beloved soldiers. She held up a gauntleted hand. Say nothing. We are walls of silence, you and me. We are perfect reflections of the one we face, and we have faced each other for so long now. And the meaning of that silence is none of the enemy's business. Before she could feel the tramp of thousands of boots reverberating up from the ground, but she could not turn. She would not face the enemy. Her eyes belonged only to her soldiers, and she could see theirs belonged in turn to her and her alone. Bone hunters, yield only in death on this day. Awesome.
Imagine hearing that and being like, you call it a speech? So good. Who are you? I see you.
Yeah.
I am you. It's such a beautiful. Well,
are you done? Oh, you have one more? I have one more. And then
you have one more? Okay. And then
our final one.
And then the final one? Okay, great.
Yeah. Do you have a bunch more?
I know. I popped to the epilogue one.
Okay.
My annotations are loaded. Yeah, I did have one more, but you kind of read it through the thing. It's Cuddle's last scene.
Oh, you can do it. Yeah, let's listen to it.
Lying jammed in a crack between two stones, a third of the way down the slope, half buried beneath Calancy corpses, and feeling the blood draining away from the deep mortal wounds in his chest, Cuddle heard that laughter. And in his mind, he went back and back. Childhood, the battles they fought, the towering redoubts they defended, the sunny days of dust and sticks for swords and running this way and that, where time was nothing but a world without horizons. And the days never closed, and every stone felt perfect in the palm of the hand, and when a bruise arrived or a cut opened red, why, he need only run to his ma or da, and they would take his shock and indignation and make it all seem less important. And then that disturbance would be gone, drifting into the time of before, and ahead there was only the sun and the brightness of never growing up. To the stones and sweat and blood here in this last resting place, Cuddle smiled. And then he whispered to them in his mind, you should have seen our last stands. They were something. They were something. Darkness, and then brightness. Brightness like a summer day without end. He went there without a single look back.
The line of that gets me is the going to Ma and Da. And
it just
I do that with my kids, and it,
Yeah.
So that leads, I think beautifully into this, and I think this is, the summation of the series in a lot of ways. Lying beneath the weight of the chains, the crippled god who had been listening now heard. Long forgotten, half disbelieved emotions rose up through him, ferocious and bright. He drew a sharp breath, feeling his throat tighten. I will remember this. I will set out scrolls and burn upon them the names of these fallen. I will make of this work a holy tome, and no other shall be needed. Hear them. They are humanity unfurled, laid out for all to see, if one would dare look. There shall be a book, and it shall be written by my hand. Wheel and seek the faces of 1,000 gods. None can do what I can do. Not one can give voice to this holy creation. But this is not bravado. For this, my book of the fallen, the only God worthy of its telling, is the crippled one, the broken one. And has it not always been thus? I never hid my hurts. I never disguised my dreams. And I never lost my way. And only the fallen can rise again. He listened to the laughter, and suddenly the weight of those chains was as nothing. Nothing. I never hid my hurts. I never disguised my dreams. And I never lost my way. Only the fallen can rise again. Put it on a t-shirt, man. Let it be true. Let it be true for all of us.
Well said.
Let it be true. All right. One final thing we wanted to do is read the, I think the just beautiful epic poem that starts Epilogue 1. And we're going to take turns reading stanzas because I just think this is such beautiful writing. Perched upon the stones of a bridge, the soldiers had the eyes of ravens. Their weapons hung black as talons. Their eyes gloried in the smoke of murder.
To the shock of iron-heeled sticks, I drew closer in the cripple's bitter patience, and before them I finally tottered, grasping to capture my elusive breath.
With the cockerel and swift of their knowing, they watched and waited for me. I have come, said I, from the road's birth. I have come, said I, seeking the best in us.
The sergeant among them had red in his beard, glistening wet as he showed his teeth. There are few roads on this earth, said he, that will lead you to the best in us, old one.
But you have seen all the tracks of men, said I, and where the mothers and children have fled before your advance. Is there not among them that you might set an old man upon?
The surgeon among this rook had bones, under her vellum skin like a maker of limbs. Old one, said she, I have dwelt in the heat of chests among heart and lungs.
And slid like a serpent between muscles, swum the currents of slowing blood, and all these roads lead into the darkness where the broken will at last rest.
Dare say I, she went on, there is no place waiting inside where you might find, in slithering exploration of mysteries, all that you so boldly call the best in us.
And then the man with shovel and pick, who could raise fort and berm in a day, timbered of thought and measured in all things, set the gauge of his eyes upon the sun.
And said, look not in temples proud, or in the palaces of the rich highborn. We have raised each in turn in our time, to melt gold from icon and shrine.
And of all the treasures weeping in fire, there was naught but the smile of greed and the thick powder of possession. Know then this, all roads before you,
from the beginning of the ages past, and those now upon us yield no clue to the secret equations you seek, for each was built of bone and blood.
And the backs of the slave did bow to the labored sentence of a life in chains, of dire need and little worth. All that we build one day echoes hollow.
Where then, good soldiers, will I ever find all that is best in us, if not in flesh, or in temple bound, or wretched road of cobbled stone?
Could we answer you, said the sergeant, this blood would cease its fatal flow, and my surgeon could seal wounds with a touch. All labors will ease before temple and road.
Could we answer you, said the sergeant, crows might starve in our company, and our talons we would cast in bogs, for the gods to fight over as they will.
But we have not found in all our years the best in us until this very day. How so? Asked I, so lost now on the road. And said he, upon this bridge we sat.
Since the dawn's bleak arrival, our perch of despond so weary and worn, and you we watched, at first a speck upon the strife-painted horizon.
So tortured in your tread as to soak our faces in the wonder of your will. Yet on you came, upon two sticks, so bowed in weight, seeking, say you, the best in us.
And now we have seen in your gift the best in us, and we were treasures at hand. We would set them we would set them humbly before you, a man without feet who walked a road.
Now soldiers with kind words are rare enough, and I welcomed their regard as I moved among them, crossed the bridge, and onward to the long road beyond.
I travel seeking the best in us, and one day it shall rise before me to bless this journey of mine and this road I began upon long ago shall now end where waits for all of the best in us.
Beautiful. The best in us indeed.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jeff Kanata, want to take
Lana
us out?
Bachynski. Yes.
With the last of the last?
The last of the last. Should I read all of it or just the first two lines?
You follow your heart.
I think this is an appropriate conclusion to our multi-year journey with these novels that has moved and changed us. So here is how The Crippled God ends. And now the page before us blurs. An age is done. The book must close. We are abandoned to history. Raise high one more time the tattered standard of the fallen. See through the drifting smoke to the dark stains upon the fabric. This is the blood of our lives. This is the payment of our deeds, all soon to be forgotten. We were never what people could be. We were only what we were. Remember us. And with that, we say thank you, and we hope you can dance.
When the world's too dark of a place to be, and you need an escape from reality, open up those pages, a sci-fi or fantasy, whatever genre you please. And join a book club, 'cause you won't read it on your own. Join a book club, so you'll be held accountable. It's just a means to an end, but you're doing it with your friends, so join the book club.